Hello. How are you doing?
Hello. Hi.
Want a break from the
Hello,
ads?
how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, hello. How we going? Hi, Aiden. Hope you're all doing well. Hi, chat. Hello, chat. What's going on? Oh, my lordy lord. We do be here. We do be here. My God. And thank you for your check-in. Appreciate it. How's your day been? Hope it's been good. Hope it's been productive.
Hello.
Hello, Benji.
Hello.
I was like trying to figure out who that was for a sec. I was like, what's his name? What is his name? Very confused. How are you, Benji? So you were playing The Quarry for a second. I was like, they are there, they're vibing, they're doing their shit. Also, I saw your text about you killing 2 characters by accident. Well, can't help with that one. Can't help with that one, Diva. Demonic, hello, how are you? I can't. Womp womp. It's okay. Abigail was my favorite. Well, can't help that, Diva. Once you kill a character, you kill a character, you know? Can't help with that one. You're just gonna have to do another playthrough. You know. I thought she was alive. That's why you what? Benji, do we need to have a discussion? I nearly just spilt my coffee all over me.
Good morning, Starshine.
GT5 base spec while
The
lurking.
Earth says
Let's
hello.
go. I hope all that's going well. I hope all that's going well. Make sure my phone's on silent. Otherwise, we're going to be blasting with...
Bang.
That was so good timing with the music. Holy shit. Like her because she's from Modern Family, not because of that. I'm gonna maybe just do that one just for the safe measure of you, Benji, yeah? We're just gonna do that one for the safe measure of you, yeah? Yeah. Oh, goodness. Benji. Gonna need you to think. Gonna need you to use that one brain cell, dog. Ben, how are you? How was Avi there yet last night? How was Avi there yet last night? I hope it was good.
Sledding and hanging out with your friends.
Thank you, Sledding Game, for opening up and doing that to me. I appreciate it. I was looking, the game's at like 38% right now for the oh, it's a peak and sledding bundle? Wait. Hang on. Buy peak and sledding game bundle. Wait, I can buy sledding game for $6.66. They're making me wanna summon something right now. Is crazy. Oh, because I get an extra 10% off that 38% off as well. They're doing a bundle. Interesting. Anyway, moving on from that. Sorry, got sidetracked. Got sidetracked. Oh God. No, we've been good. Today was a little bit stressful. I'm trying to get, you know, a mix/edit onto SoundCloud. But someone helped me with that, which I am very, very thankful for. Because I didn't realize that it's the first 10 seconds of a track that SoundCloud scans for shit. So when I was informed just to add dead space and for it to, you know, just go from there, we're on top of it. So now we literally have it on 2 fucking platforms at this point, which is fine. It's so fine. You bought Forza Horizon 6 yesterday? Let's go. Did you buy the standard? Because I don't know how I'm able to upgrade. I don't know how that works. If I were to upgrade, I don't know how all that works. So I'm just... Actually, if I just... Is it in my cart? Yes. But is that just me paying the full... Yeah, that's me paying the full... Like, I'm not going to be paying $189.95 again for the game. I don't know how Steam works in that regard for it, but... Anyway, you got the base one? Yeah. I was gifted the base one from Boss, but I was looking at potentially how to upgrade from that. I don't think you can upgrade. Which is a shame. But actually, hang on. I do wonder. I'm gonna chuck a cheeky here. I know it's on a separate platform, but I don't think you can, which in my opinion is bullshit. I agree. I do agree with that. Because I know some games you can. So it's like confusing as to why you wouldn't be able to with this as well. It's not making sense. It is not making sense. I'm just updating my Xbox app because I want to see if I can... I want to see if there's a way to finesse it, I guess, in a way. You can with other games? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, if you bought the base version of it, that you'd be able to do, like, an upgraded version? Oh, God, everything on my Microsoft Store is wanting to update. Stop. I just want Xbox. That's all I want. I just want Xbox to update. That's all I want. Why is everything now? Yeah, unless it was like they weren't intentional, because technically this is like their first proper game that they're like actually releasing on a separate platform from the get-go as well too. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the same with cameras having a memo because everything's trying to update. I love that. Can we like pause
Hello?
the rest of these?
Hi.
Side question, how much does a rainbow weigh? Nobody really knows for sure, but it's pretty light. Oh, Oh, well. Oh, this camera. Please stop. Oh, it's not the camera. It's my actual PC. I'm like looking at the little stream preview just to see, and I'm like, she's lagging, but she ain't. Interesting. I never really thought that, Outlaw. How are you? Oh my god, it is so warm in here right now. Holy shit. It is so warm. But I hope you're doing well. App was in use. Oh, well, update. So I'm trying to update fucking Xbox. I want to see. But now it's updating every single other fucking application. Has to get updated through Microsoft Store. It's early. I'm tired. How's streamer? How's chat? Streamer's still not good. Streamer's vibin. Streamer is vibin. It kind of was like a productive day today, and then like kind of wasn't. I don't know. It felt really weird. It felt weird. Like it was productive in a sense of like we put the mix out. We uploaded it to SoundCloud. We uploaded it to YouTube. We did all that fun shit today. I went out and got fuel. Thank God that like $50 fills up my car properly again. So fucking happy about that. Besides that, I was watching YouTube and crash. So that's great. Yeah. So that's great. I crashed big time today on the couch. Didn't even realize I just passed the fuck out. I just absolutely passed the fuck out this afternoon. I think I woke up and it was like 5:30. I discovered new to me music, electropop. Electropop be good. Electropop be good, Outlaw. Pinky up, 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 up. Us against the world, shaking ass in the parking lot. Compare. No, it's the same as well in here. Yeah, it's the same on here as well. With $50 would fill my tank. I mean,
You're such a good boy.
Earl. 1K, $1,000.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Oh, thank you so much for the Garganova, Diva. Come on, Earl asked in the chat. We love it. Did you say $1,000? You said $1,000, Outlaw? $1,000 for fuel? What the fuck? That's wild to me. I thought that was late. No. Spend like 4,500 a week on fuel. Oh my god. That's... I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. I saw large emote. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Outlaw. Fuck. If that ended up being the case for like me for work, I would have been like, you're giving me like a business card with the amount of money that we go through. Like 5 MPG will do that when you run 600 miles a day. I am going to ask a stupid question, but I don't, well, no, I'm going to say stupid statement, actually, not a stupid question. I'm going to have a moment and be like, I don't know what that is. So I'm gonna Google. Okay, everything is having a moment. Oh, it's because I got like 50 million fucking tabs open in fucking this shit. Because I left stuff on my PC. That is not what I asked for, but sure. 2 letters away for being Aiden! Aiden! That's on the wrong line. I knew that's what I needed to fix. I knew that's what I needed to fucking fix today. And I didn't do it. I didn't convert from freedom units. Not that I didn't convert from freedom units. That's okay. That's fine. I'm still gonna Google because brain is like, what are we meeting? That's not still what I'm asking for. The gun sensor always catches me off guard. Good. As it should. As it should. Oh, it's miles per gallon. Okay. So it's about 1.7 kilometers per liter. Okay. 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 That makes sense now. That makes sense now. Okay. I just was like, why are we referring to MPG? I'm so confused. So confusion. But that's still wild though. $1,000 for a full tank is crazy. See, I was like on the last quarter of my she's a big girl and shaped like a brick. Do you mind saying what car you drove? I'm curious. As if you want to, you don't have to. But I can only imagine that fucking tank is gonna be big. Oh, that's not a car at all. That's not a car at all. That's why. That would make sense. That would make sense. Outlaw, I keep forgetting that you drive trucks. Jesus Christ. Okay, no wonder why it's like $1,000. No wonder why it's like a fucking grand, just about. But how much is like... This is gonna try and do conversion in fucking Google Images. We're not gonna do that. What's the conversion right now? Press? Okay, so like you're spending like 1.3. Long hood 2. I can't see shit when I sit on the floor. When you sit on the floor, why would you be sitting on the floor? Why would you be sitting on the floor? Also, Earl, hi, how are you, my doll? I hope you're doing well. I saw you booted up, what was it? I saw you booted up. Was it Dead by Daylight? Did you boot up Dead by Daylight at some point? Hi, Freb. Thank you for the posture. I am sitting. The camera just seems a little bit higher today. The camera just seems a little higher today. Hydrate or dehydrate, you dick. Gotta look cool in the stool, baby. That's what it is.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hope your besties are doing well. We're doing well, Freb. How are you? Good morning or good afternoon. I can't remember. Chat, I was thinking about doing Tomodachi Life today. I was thinking about it. Just made a pizza? Ooh, what's on the pizza? What's on the pizza? I want to know. Phoenix, thank you for your check-in as well. I'm down. I know you're down. You just want to see you in your superhero suit. Also, we haven't really been on there all week. Just about. US, so basically good morning, but also being up all night. Wait, why you been up? Why you been up all night? You doing okay? Well, actually, it's the same with Phoenix as well. Same with Phoenix. We got all the US beans coming in right now at this point in time as well. Got all the late nighters. I'm just a night owl or night bunny in my case. Well, yes, you really do be young, dumb, and horny. That's not going to any of you anyway. Could you move? Oh, Aiden, I am well aware. I am well aware. I've been to Melbourne probably more times than any other Sydney person right now. I literally had to inform some people about the weather that have never been to Melbourne before. And they came back last week and they're like, thank you so much for telling us that the weather is like just, feels like winter even though it isn't. It's the same up here. It's the same up here. Last night was like extremely humid as shit. And it had rained the day before as well. So just the humidity was absolutely ridiculous. But you're just weird. No, you're not, Phoenix. Don't say that. 3:30 a.m., but I work graveyard. See, now that's a valid reason as to being up late. That is a valid reason as to why you're being up late. But also, night owls, it's the same as me. Like, I don't get home from the gym until, like, what is it? Like 2:30, 3 o'clock nowadays. So I completely understand the whole thing of, like, being up late and doing all that kind of shit. It's literally the only reason why I'm up late on my days off. Anything else is, yes. I see that I'm getting summoned in my Discord. What's going on? So sorry about that, chat. Holy fuck. Oh, that would be why. Wait, I am curious what song you're playing, though. I'm curious what you're listening to. I want to know. Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yes, yes. Got a new PC. Ooh, let's go, new PC. In the summer, I got up 40s last year in February when I was up there with mum, dad, and older sister. I remember someone saying it was like being inside of a microwave. See, I like that weather. I like that weather. I used to live on the song choice was ironic, lol. I used to live on the mid-north coast. So I was like 5 minutes away from the beach, technically. Loved going to the beach almost like every afternoon during summer and spring. It was always great. It was always great, especially going after school as well. So good. So good. That's exciting, Phoenix. We love that. I'm on the other side of the mountain range. It's warm as fuck. What mountain range? What mountain range? But honestly, like, when we were up in Queensland for, when we were up for Furdu in Queensland, weather was great. I loved it. I was like walking around with no shirt on, like through the apartment and stuff. I feel so bad for doing that in front of Way. I feel so bad for doing that in front of Way. Like, I kind of made myself feel like I was at home because it just felt so nice being up there. It was just, oh, so nice. Don't want to put the truck in gear. I'm just tired. Have a rest. Have a rest if you can. Please look after yourself, Outlaw. Rainbow Range or whatever the fuck you call it. No idea what that is, but we love that. David Nova. Stop in the name of love. Oh, you're our that way. You're kind of like near my old. Kind of. Well, actually, very much further out from my old stomping grounds, actually. Not gonna lie. Let me actually see. Like 4 hours out from like my old stomping grounds. And Daxie, hello, how are you? Thank you for your check-in, lovely. Just see the cutoff for the title for the game, The Mortar Assistant.
Good morning,
oh my god,
Starshine.
working and lurking.
The Earth says hello.
Are we jerking as well at the same time? Yes, I have buttons. 4 hours is a day trip? It's a day trip. 4 hours is a day trip. Probably in the truck, yes. It would take a lot longer. Like, oh, if you were doing back and forth, then yeah. Yeah, it'd be exactly. Like, if you're doing back and forth just for the one day instead of just going out there, then, you know, coming back the next day. That makes sense. That makes sense. I hope work's not too bad in Daxie. All right. Should we get into a little bit of Tomodachi life and see what's going on, chat? Should we do that? Work is stressing me out, but I'm seeing Cat's Eye on Friday. Hey, I did see that they're in Australia. I did see that. That's exciting. We love that. What a shame. Where's my controller? Hold up. Give me like 2 secs, chat. It's all the way over here. Oh, of course it's all the way over there. We love to see it. But I hope work eases up for you and Daxie, and hope you don't have to stress too much about it all. Stressing is not good. Stressing is not good. Not allowed. Let's get this all working. Are we gonna connect? Yes, we are connecting. Okay. Not this. What a waste. What a shame. Now she's got grace. This has changed again. She knows, she knows, she knows. Everybody supports women. So a woman's doing better than you. Whole day from where I am to go to one of the big cities and back. What do you mean one of the big cities, though? What do you mean by one of the big cities? Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that everything is sitting fine, chat. Okay. This. Let me just fix some other things. Everybody wants you to love yourself. What do you actually do? Something about her hair. Think it'd be cool to drive one of those Aussie road trains. Aussie road trains? Aussie road trains? I'm trying to figure out what you're referring to. Aussie road trains. One of those Aussie road trains. What system? You. You're also system. Why is everything all on system? Oh, the massive fucking try. Oh, yes. That makes more sense to me now. I was like, hold on a sec. What are we referring to? That'd be cute. Okay. All right. Tomodachi live chat. Fucking hell. Got there. Our lorries can only pull 2 trailers. Really? Is that just how they're built? Like, they just can't actually, like, pull any more than 2? Oh my god. We haven't been on this for, like, a week, chat. Way is blessing us. What the fuck is Jakey doing at me news is wild. Okay, let's pick up our donations. What do we got? 136 today. Alright. Oh, the roads. Okay. Alright. We're gonna do some clothes shopping first. Oh. Yes. That was an instant purchase. Oh, wait. We have some really cute shit. Hang on. Okay, that hoodie is not a hoodie. Antique brooch. Bitch, you think I'm gonna be buying $1,000 brooch right now? Keyring, where's that go? Oh my god, we can make a Labubu, bitch. We can make a Labubu, bitch. Fucking corn outfit is sending me. Got some interesting stuff in here today, though. A pearl brooch, that's kind of cute. Dress shirt with vest. The cob. Hey, come on now. I do like that. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. The little robot outfit. That's also cute as well in that color. Hold up. What do we got? Yes, I bought a cow outfit. It looks very cute though. It does look very cute. There's some stuff that we did. We did purchase a fair few, like, new items. We're getting there with some of the stuff. The hiking jacket I really like. That's very slay. Supermarket. Hi, chat. You're in the shop today. Thank you. Actually, can I do this? Okay, that's... I didn't set this up properly. That's great. That's fantastic. I mean, we can kind of see what's going on, but not really at the same time.
Welcome.
Oh, it's in Daxi. Oh, the nursery set. Why isn't Daxi offering us a nursery set today?
Please come again.
Thank you, Indaxi. We appreciate it. Alrighty. Well, nursery? The fuck yeah, you're offering us a nursery. What's in the night market today?
Hey.
Oh, it's a bag. Okay. Sure.
Step
We'll do
right
it.
up and
Why
try
not?
your luck.
Why not? We'll have a look. That looks delicious, actually. Simple living set. Okay. And a hard hat, period.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Yes, thanks,
Be
Benji.
sure to stop by again tomorrow.
Appreciate it. We say no to adult babies on island. Well... We're watching the news now, Diva.
This is me news for the 6th of May, 2026.
Hi, Way!
In news that scientists are calling totally and unmistakably bananas, quantum research took a huge leap forward last night.
Oh.
After countless
Oh
cuts
my
and
God.
cardboard boxes, Lupo has finally succeeded in shrinking himself down to quantum scale to observe the quantum realm firsthand.
That is wild.
Unfortunately, he forgot to come up with a way to get back. Researchers have confirmed that Lupo is both perfectly safe and in terrible danger at the same time. Somehow,
What the
we
fuck?
asked residents for their reactions.
Oh, and Daxi.
I consider myself quite an expert on that subject.
Oh, yeah.
Are you having a laugh?
We
Thank
actually
you for
went to
watching.
3 furcons. I just blocked them.
I'm Waylon, and this has been the 7 o'clock news.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Way. What do you mean you've gone to 3 furcons and just completely blocked them out? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ben, you good? You good? What's happening? Lupo's dreaming.
Wonder if anything
Let's go check on
interesting
Lupo.
is
Let me
going
send you the
on.
curse photos from like 2009. Oh my god. 2009? What? Does Lupo not like ice cream? Oh, does Lupo not like ice cream? Oh, interesting. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Huh? I must be exhausted.
Why would you be exhausted? I literally just logged in.
What can I do for you?
We're gonna test the theory, Lupo. We're gonna test the theory. Ice cream cone.
Oh my.
Oh, you love it. Oh! Oh, we leveled up Lupo. Hold up. Yeah, no, yeah. Now I'm gonna test that kimchi theory as well. We have to test that kimchi theory with whoever it was.
I speak with my outdoor voice. I
Fucking
speak with my outdoor.
Okay.
I speak with a radiant voice. I speak with a radiant voice. I speak with a creepy voice. I speak quietly. I speak with a radiant voice.
Lupo, you're the first one to receive the voice. Here's your new voice, Lupo.
I feel like I've gotten a bit closer to the real me. It's important to stop and take a moment to reflect, every now and then.
That's also on the wrong line as well. I'm gonna fix that real quick. I hear Aiden and their fucking maracas right now.
That's it.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Thanks, Lupo. Aiden, you and your fucking maracas are so loud. Shake it? I'm gonna stop you from that.
Hi.
Yeah, Lupo was crushing on you, yeah.
I got acquainted with chat.
Yes, you did. Oh, that was it? You just got acquainted with chat and that was it? Thank you, Aiden. Protomatic! What
hello.
the fuck?
How you doing?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello!
What is going on?
Good morning, Starshine.
What is
The
happening?
Earth says hello.
What is going on? Do I need to like get this ready? Do I need to get this ready? What is happening? Raiders, welcome in. My name is Harlow. I'm Sydney Australia's Twunk Pro Pop and DJ here on this side of the internet, part of Team Ferocious and part of the Twitch Pride Guild. Aiden.
Another great night of prowling about unnoticed.
Oh, wow, there we go. Fredo, how was stream? How are we going? We literally just started with Tomodachi Live. How are we? How are we? Thank you so much for the... Oh, we're playing Tomodachi Live as well. How was stream? Did we have fun? Great. Welcome in. Selena, welcome in. Let me... Pip, welcome in. I don't know. Oh my god. Promised Kiss, welcome in as well. Are we enjoying the Homodachi? The Homodachi? The fuck? What the fuck? I'm so sorry. I'm still catching up. I feel like, I don't know. I haven't streamed for a day. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Hello, how are
Anyway,
you?
welcome in,
I'm
go
under
in,
the
Zone.
water.
Oh my god, we died
Please help
laughing.
me.
What
You're too
happened?
much raining.
Tell us. But also, if you need a raid and run, I completely understand. This also goes for your community as well. If you need to go eat, drink, slower, shit. I am so done. Cancel me right now. I'm done. Eat, drink, shower, sleep, shit, piss, whatever the fuck you gotta do, because that's what we say over here. Please go and do that after stream care is important. I need more coffee in my system, obviously. I see yellow lines on the island, so do I. Some of our community members' mates got married after dating for less than a day. See, I have a rule on this island, because every single mate that we've had thus far has literally started like eyeing off one another and falling in love straight away. Thirst Island, exactly right, Indaxi. It's literally just been Thirst Island. As soon as someone enters the island, they're already automatically in love. I've had to put a stop to so many fucking relationships that we've had so far. But we have some at the moment, but it's great. So many have fallen for my mate. Yes, they have definitely fallen for your mate, yes. Speed Maracas mode, yeah. Started dating despite one of them not even thinking twice about the other. I just say yes to everything. Look, I would also say yes as well. But at the same time, I'm kind of just like, I want them to at least have a little bit of like a moment and go from there. What's happening? Oh, fuck me. Okay. Wait, is this Gaga or is this Indaxi? Oh god, it's Gaga in chat. It's Gaga in chat. I'm scared. Oh, not what I wanted to press. Oh god.
Let's find somewhere fun to hang out.
Oh god. Chat, what are you doing?
Is there anywhere you wanna go, little
Chat, what are you
monster?
doing?
Anywhere is fine by me.
Chat?
How about over there?
Oh, well.
I
I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen, but then again. The drama. The fucking drama. What's going on with me? What is happening with me? What is going on? Hello?
Ha.
Yes, hi.
Sucking dick Hancock. Oopsies. You caught me daydreaming. Yes, diva.
This bitch. You know what? We're gonna feed you because, you know... Oh, no. Hang on. I see something. You know what? You can have sausage. You can have proper sausage. That made you do it. Not all of the above. That's so fucking wild. Crazy. But how are you enjoying Tomodachi Life Proto? Are you having fun? Have you started doing, like, some personas on the island? I'm struggling tenfold. I'm probably going to buy myself a stylist, if I'm going to be honest. We have Jennifer Coolidge. I feel like everyone and their mother has got Jennifer Coolidge on their island, if I'm going to be honest. Like, icon legend, by the way.
Well, yes. I want to be friends with Zen. Yes, diva.
Oh, wait. Hang on. We're not even friends with Zen, but Zen's head over heels.
So,
okay.
What should we talk about?
Oh, she lives in my building IRL, and she's the team of it. You know what? I'm here for that. I'm here for that. What suggestions do we have? I don't know what Zen and I would talk about IRL, but you know what? We'll talk about no personas, but we have a banana wearing a cow suit and a short king wearing a turkey outfit. You know what? I'm here for that. I am so here for that. You know what? We'll talk about big, hot, muscle, sweaty men.
All right.
Why not? Why not? We'll have this discussion. Jennifer Timuage. Oh my god.
Good evening, Zen.
We also made someone's polar bear emo. I love that. That's cute.
Would
Also,
you like to have a
thank
chat?
you for the follows, by the way. Appreciate all that.
About big, hot, muscle, sweaty men.
Why am I saying it like that?
Are you serious? I can't go 3 seconds without thinking about big, hot, muscle, sweaty men.
We gotta have horse go on.
I don't know what's
100%.
going on, but this has to be fate.
Yes, I did.
If fate has it in store for us to become friends, then we should. Don't want to disappoint fate.
Oh?
Absolutely. I feel destiny at work here too.
Here for it. So
and
here
I've
for
seen
it.
enough films to know you shouldn't mess with it. Let's be friends.
But Zen's also falling head over heels for us as well. So, in the respect of becoming friends, that's got to happen. That's got to happen for sure. I love that. Cute. I don't have a nickname for Zen. It's literally always been Zen, and I think Zen just calls
Zen
me
and I
Harlow
both
anyway.
can't stop thinking about big, hot, muscle, sweaty men. Naturally, this has made us friends.
Well, yes.
How special. Harlow and I were fated to become friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. There was something there. We've leveled up again. I need to start leveling up everyone else and not just me. That feel when Harlow's me is a big hot sweaty muscle man. Please stop it. Oh wait, I forgot we can do clothing. Glitch in the Matrix. Lol. Harlow already has that. We're not gonna do clothing. Chat, what should we give me? I've seen people who had Gordon Ramsay as a me. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Gordon Ramsays look really fucking good. The Gordon Ramsays look really fucking good. Do we have any more prezzies that we can give? Do we have any more? No. I mean, we can, but... You know what?
I speak with my outdoor...
I am a loud bitch. I am a loud bitch. We're giving ourselves the outside voice, chat. Outdoor voice, 100%.
Oh, I feel somewhat different. Yes, Diva.
Up, Daxi!
We interrupt your day to bring you this breaking news.
Yes.
We've just received some truly excellent information. A special event in appreciation of Gay Boy is being held to celebrate 50 boosts to the happiness levels.
We love to see it!
Let's go live to the scene now.
The region differences in the way things in this game are named are crazy. Wait, where are you from, Proto? Wait, oh my god, it's Lee.
Gay Boy. Thank you so much. For everything you do for us.
Yes! Oh my god, that's so cute.
What a
Oh, you're from
wonderful
LA? Oh,
performance that
period, we
was.
love that.
A perfect expression of our appreciation for
In the
Gay
American
Boy.
version, we just
It
call
truly
prezzies
warms the
gifts.
heart.
Wait, I never really noticed that.
Indaxi, and that was your breaking news.
I never really noticed that. I'm gonna have to notice that. Thank you, Indaxi, by the way. Appreciate it. Wait, we call it prezzy. Wait, we call it prezzies? No fucking way. I didn't even notice that little attention. That little attention to detail. I didn't finish off that sentence. Okay. Do we... That's fucking wild. That is fucking wild. Got a haircut for a little Asian. Thank you so much. And I had that fucking voice memo. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, not this. Not this, Indaxi. Oh, what's happening with Rish? Oh, these two.
Right.
Oh, okay. Please tell me that these two are falling in love. Hi, Twinkie.
By the way, I really dig you. Bottom, your whole situation. You're so well put together.
Hi, Twinkie.
No way. Your sense of style is off the charts. Cock enjoyer. Just looking at you makes me feel embarrassed for myself. Oh, that's just not true. Your whole situation is so great. People hurt themselves turning their heads to look at you. What are you on about?
Yeah, that's what they call each
Your look
other,
is so
yeah.
stupid dope. Cock enjoyer. People in clothes shops get into fights to be the one to serve you.
Oh, okay, that makes
You're going to make me mad if you keep this up. You're so out there cool. There are people out there designing some awful machine to swap bodies with you. Now I'm getting worried. Can we talk about something else?
Can you two just fall in love and just like, please? We're gonna need this. Yeah, Indaxi calls Jakey Bottom and Jakey calls Rish Cock Enjoyer. So it's a fun time. It's a fun time. It's definitely a fun time. How are you, Twinkie? I hope you're doing well. Indaxi, why are you being needy? What's going on? What's happening with you in your rich mansion?
Good evening.
Apartment. I don't call him sorry. Rish, not Indaxi. Sorry, my bad. Good and you.
Wouldn't it be marvelous if Disco and I lived together?
The best friends want to move in together. Am I just going to allow it? Am I just going to allow it? No, you still will keep your room. You're just going to be moving into a house with them. Yes, you do. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Slay. All right.
I'm glad you agree. If I lived with Disco, how could we spend our days?
The first option. Well, discussing the straight edge. The straight agenda. Is this really what we're gonna be? Is this really what we're gonna be bringing to the island? Is this really what we're gonna be bringing to the island, Induxy? Oh, not what I... Wrong button.
The straight agenda.
This sounds like something Induxy would say. This sounds like something Induxy would, you know, want to bring to the island.
That sounds great.
No, that does not sound great. That does not sound great.
Say, hear me out on something, okay?
What is it? Seems important.
Apparently.
Let's say the two of us moved in together. What's something we could spend our days doing together? Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
If Rish says it.
The straight agenda.
Fuck me.
We're so compatible. Let's move in together.
Fuck me. What the fuck? What in the fuck? Oh no, I'm gonna make sure Jakey moves in
This
as
is
well.
going to be absolutely fabulous.
I'm gonna make sure Jakey
Our
moves
houses
in
are
with
a
y'all
tad
as
on
well
the
now in
cramped
Daxy.
side. We should build a larger house.
Where am I gonna put this fucking house? Where am I gonna put this house? Now that I have to move both of yous out, where the fuck are we putting this? Oh god, we're gonna have to put it next to... Oh god, okay. I need that expansion ASAP. I need the island expansion
I'm sure
to happen
we'll have
like
tons of fun
so
living in
soon.
this house.
Yes.
By the way, do you have any good ideas for a nickname to describe us as a group?
Oh my god. I'll mull it over for now.
Thanks again for everything.
We'll mull over it for now. Oh my god, Indexy. Now we gotta level you up. Now we gotta level you up. Okay. What are we gonna give you? Have we given you a laptop yet? No, we haven't actually given you any gifts. We're giving you a laptop. There we go. Workaholic.
Thank you. I've always wanted that.
Also, chat, ad start in a minute 30, by the way, letting you know. Okay, let's fix this up. Let's fix this up because we've got a fair bit of residency happening here. So we're gonna probably do this. Oh god, hang on. I'm gonna have to really think about this. I think we're gonna have to do that. just gonna have to do for now until we can sort out some shit. That's fine. Okay, let's have a look and see what's going on here. Hey, let's go. Look at these two. Indaxi's just floating. Are you all about to sit in a... Oh my god. Oh, what are you all gonna eat? You've got forks, but what are you gonna eat? Oh, fruit. Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm gonna leave you all to eating your fruit then, I guess. So the best friends have moved in. That's good. Oh, now we got like 2 free spots. This is like fucking up my island so much now that we're getting houses.
Good evening.
Hi, Lee. We're gonna have to go
I really
around
want to give my room a fresh new look.
Alright. Alright, what do we got? What have we got that we can give you, Lee? Moving in set. How do you like it? Oh, you actually like it. Okay. Interesting.
My room looks great. Thank you. Well, yes.
Wait, why are you saying, oh? I was like, why are you saying, well, yes? But now that makes sense. Everyone's about to say, well, yes, at this
If
point.
you had to take part in a race around the world, what vehicle would you choose?
Want a break from the ads?
McLaren P1. So you'd race with a McLaren P1? Can I ride passenger?
I don't think Lee would like it if I drove too fast in a McLaren, to be honest. I think Lee would probably lose their shit. Okay, yeah, Lee's lost their shit. Why is Zen having a moo-moo? What's going on here? Zen, hello. What's happening?
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello.
My look is lacking something.
What do you
Could
want?
you give me a hat that matches this outfit?
That does match the outfit. What do you fucking mean? What do you mean? What do you want? You know what? I'm gonna go on a whim. I'm gonna give you a fleece bucket hat. I've just turned you into a cow. Welcome back from the ads chat. I've just turned you into a cow.
Fuck yeah, dude. I talked to Harlow and I learned that he's into big, hot, muscle, sweaty men.
Well, yes.
We had so much fun chatting that it's fair to say we're friends now.
Well, I'm glad. That's good. Yes, you're a friend. That fucking walk on Zen. I swear. A house silhouette. Where? House silhouette? What are you talking about? Oh, that means that they're in their house. That means that they're in their house. What's up with me? What happened now? Why?
Ooh. Hello, gay boy.
We are so loud now.
Well, yes. I was talking to Zen, but I started to feel a little sad. Yes, Diva.
Why are we getting upset? What's going on? Why are you all upset at each other? Okay. Okay. You can continue playing with the dog, that's fine. Jakey's out and about. Alright, well that's everyone. Let us get to... Seems they're debating going to buy a puphood right this instant. Chat? Is there something y'all want to tell me, chat? Is there something you want to tell me, chat?
Well, salmon to Canary, is that going?
Alright. We're gonna feed chat. I'm so sorry. We just broke the relationship a little bit. You know what? We'll give you curry with rice. How about that? Oh my indeed, chat. Oh my indeed, chat. Do you like that? Oh, you don't like curry. Okay, well, that's a shame. That is a really big fucking shame. Alright, well that's it. I forgot that you walk like a robot. Did we feed Gaga? I don't think we fed Gaga yet.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm gonna feed you, Gaga. Gonna give you... We have so many food food options right now. You know what? Saltenbocker. Let's do it.
Oh my.
Let's do that. Period. Okay.
There could be 100 people. I wish I could be friends with the me from your world.
I wish you could as well. I'm sure they would love to see you on the... what is Benji doing?
Play dreamt wo snickly twas, so I said, taffen lo pogly snuffle, dittle.
I am so sorry, Gaga. I'm breaking the conversation.
Hey, Squidward. Benji.
Benji is reporting that everyone should be taking poppers far more serious. Ashen, thank you for your check-in. How are you, lovely?
Talanta, right. Pronto, Durantipor. Joffy, that.
How do you know that, Aiden?
Bundes, Ralapine Bass.
How do you know that? Why is... Do you want to talk with... Do you want to talk with them? Be awkward since Lupo made Jennifer Coolidge feel bad. What? What?
I'm inconsolable.
What's going on?
I want a hot dog real bad. I was talking to Hot Dog, but things just didn't click.
Okay, we need you to have a fantastic conversation with them. I'm sure you love that so much. I'm sure you love that so much. Okay, where's Lupo? Lupo, that's Lee, Jennifer, Lupo. Let's... Okay, stop it, Lupo. You two are gonna have a conversation. Oh, okay. Or just pose with each other, sure. Okay. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, I'm gonna leave you two to posing. I'm gonna leave you two to posing. What's Wei doing? Wei! What are you doing?
Look straight at the camera, please.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, yes. Indeed.
Wait, are you taking a photo of the plant or the house? Okay. And while reworking gear and Warframe...
Yes,
Harlow, you are so loud. Also, that power pose? Please. Do that again. Do that again, please. Do that again. Oh, I can just go in there and do that. Okay, that's not what I want. Come on, power pose. I want to take a photo of that, but that chat is up above. Oh, I can hide shit. Oh, I can hide shit. I love that. Cute.
Please tell me how to style my headband, but not really.
Okay, Way's just taking photos of everyone's house. What's going on? Way is my biggest fan. Way's just taking photos of people's houses right now. I'm very... Confusion. Let's talk to Way.
Where you been, gay boy? Missed ya.
Miss you. I texted you today, by the way. And we had a we had a short conversation. There we go. Ashen, thank you so much for the 3 stream streak.
I chatted with Aiden and we both got super excited.
Super excited. You're best friends with Aiden, but Aiden's super awkward with you. I am confused as to how that works.
Where you been, gay boy?
we're gonna give you this. We're gonna feed
Oh
you
my.
actually. I'm gonna give you some food. Only filled you up halfway. Okay, we're gonna give you something else.
Computer. The weather looking like tomorrow.
Oh no, that's not good. Okay, we're gonna give you something else as well. How about dessert?
Make consent.
You want a lollipop?
Oh my.
We're gonna give you a lollipop. Okay, you like that. That's good. Number 3 on that. Okay, sure. Oh, period. Oh my god, I saw that there was check-ins and I didn't even do check-ins. Y'all, thank you for your check-ins. I appreciate it. Should we do another expression? We already have starting a sentence for bruh. What should we do for way? I'm gonna rack my brain real quick. Stupid bitch. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum.
Good morning, Starshine.
Hi, Fire Pup Red. How are you, lovely? Oh my god.
Hello.
Ending a
Hello.
sentence.
Hello.
Puppy's good. I'm glad. Small. Oh my god. How are you? We'll do wow for an ending sentence.
Raw. Raw.
Why is it thinking it's saying raw? We're gonna do wow.
Wow.
There we go. Yes. How are you, Small? I'm glad that you're doing well, doggo. I'm glad that you're doing well. You been looking after yourself?
Thank you. Saying that really
How do?
makes me feel more like
good.
myself. Wow.
Do good. We're doing some Tomodachi life. Who the fuck is Ben in love with? Ben? Who the fuck is...
Good evening.
Oh god.
It may just be my imagination, but I have a nagging feeling that me.
Brain is like, I should do it. But then also Brain is like, let's not. I mean, yeah, this is true. And it's only one side is, you know, can't wait for Ben to move in and discuss the straight agenda is fucking wild. You just... I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it right now. And Daxie, I'm gonna message you real quick what my brain is thinking. You know what? I'll be nice out of respect of the both of them being good friends.
Are you really sure? Right. In that case, please forget I ever brought this up.
You'll bring it up again at some point. Oh! Wait! Hold up. I didn't think that was gonna do that.
Deadass. Not to brag, but people tell me my room always smells like a McLaren P1.
Where'd you hear that from? My room smells like McLaren P1. Oh no, Diva. That's such a shame. What the fuck? Oh, Jennifer Coolidge's. Uh-huh. Yeah, Jennifer? You having fun? You having fun?
So fun.
So fun. You know what? I feel like we're gonna need to give you... Do we have outfits that we can give Jennifer Coolidge? Cry when my garage smells like... I cry as well when my garage smells like McLaren P1 as well. Crazy. We should probably... You know what? We could... What would Jennifer wear? What would Jennifer Coolidge wear? We don't really have... I've got, like, gym attire. And, like, nothing else, really. We're gonna need to up this, like, fashion game a bit. The pastel could work nice on her. What, the suit? The suit... That's kind of cute. We're not doing that. Floral skirt. Oh my god, I forgot that we have the corn on the cob outfit. You know what? Now she's just gonna walk around like a corn on the cob. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, which maze have we fed? Actually, we're gonna go through the maze and just feed them. We've fed Harlow, I'm assuming.
Ha!
You're so loud.
Looking chipper, gay boy.
You are really fucking loud. I really should just reduce your voice. I should just reduce your voice. You are so fucking loud.
Oh my.
They've only just become loud, like, this stream. Okay, croissant. Yep. Thank you. Okay, you're fed. Jakey.
Ha.
Yeah. What's wrong,
I'm
Small?
number one trickster main.
Yes, you are. In Australia, mind you. We're gonna give you some ham.
Oh my.
Sure. Work is done. I'm glad. Oh, you liked that. Okay. Yeah. Oh. You like that over everything? Oh god, now we have a level up. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. You know what? We're giving you a bulkier bod because Jakey said they would like to go to the gym one time. So we're going to give that to you, Jakey.
Thank you. I've always wanted that.
You've always wanted that? I don't think you always wanted it, but sure.
I'm number one.
Yes, you are. Let's see.
Cock Enjoyer really is incredible.
Sure. Okay. Rish is sleeping, apparently. At the table. Yeah, we're waking you up now.
What can I do for you?
Let's talk to you.
Howdy. Endaxi asked me to live with her, so I said okay.
Yes.
Finally, someone I can practice the straight agenda within the same house. I can't wait.
You know what?
Shut your fucking mouth!
You're gonna have... Index, are you good?
It
was just disco.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's just Disco talking. Yep. Float off now. Oh, for fucking hell. Goddamn. Let's give you something sweet as well. You know what? Cherries. You've passed
Oh
your
my.
So, Indaxi's kind of playing like a villain on the island, so it's one of those, you know. Indaxi's like, let's make our me be a little villainesque. If you fall asleep at the thing again, I swear, yep, you've fallen asleep again. Indaxi, what are you doing? What do you mean on the island? Oh, well.
Hello,
Please
how
tell
are
me
you?
how to
I am
style
under the
my
water.
headband,
Please
but
help
not
me.
really.
Here too much raining.
Guys, thank you for your check-in. How are you, lovely? I hope you're doing well. Okay, well, the household is looking lovely right now. Aiden is after something. I think Aiden's fallen over. That is so helpful. That is so helpful. Hang on. Why is Lee staring at chat? Having a shower? Why is Lee staring at chat having a shower?
Hi and nice to meet you. Well, yes. My name is Limalu, queer variety streamer.
Hi, streamer. Lovely to meet you. Limalu. Queer variety streamer.
Why does everyone call... This is fucking wild. Lee's enthusiastically speaking about his interest without wearing... Okay, yeah. But also... We're gonna have another one of these moments where Lee's gonna see this and be like, what the fuck have they done to me? Moment. Okay, Lee, you're gonna help out, Aiden. Please. There you go.
Oh,
Every
no.
time you would
Are
bring that up.
okay?
What do you mean?
Sorry, do you mind giving me a hand?
What do you mean?
Alright, hold still. Here we go. Ah. Oh, wait.
I think that was an art imitates life moment. I mean, Lee is streaming right now too. Oh, fuck me, Dad. Aiden! No! Aiden!
I see. Their name's Limalu, queer variety streamer. Limalu, queer variety streamer is a vision of perfection. Is this love? Oh, I guess I got carried away.
Aiden, you get carried away very quickly. You get carried away very quickly with falling in love with people. It is wild. So Lee Malou, queer variety streamer for me? Well, they are a queer variety streamer. What the fuck am I doing with Gaga? In Daxi, just like hovering out of their house like that is
so
scary.
Refreshing.
Okay, I don't need to scream that, but sure, okay. Wait. Okay, Way and Chat have not met. Getting wet on the lawn, yes. Okay. I'm just like looking up the top, seeing the... Okay, Way's joining in conversation.
Hello. Even the way you walk is cute. I love it. Hello, I'm mad about you. Hello, I'm mad about you. Hello, I love you.
Well, thank you so much for the check-in. Thank you so much, Zen. Waiting for others to arrive. Okay. Who are we up to with feeding people? We've already done Way. I think we did in Daxi already. Venting about everything that went wrong in 20. We're only in May! What do you mean? What do you mean? No, but Squid's also wanting a combo.
Do you have a moment?
Yeah, what's up? Fuck me dead. Holy shit. Lady Light!
Hello!
Lady! Diva!
Hello.
Raiders!
How you doing?
How are we? We've been Lady by the enormous the Twitch. Hello, how are you, Diva? I hope you're doing well, Raiders. Welcome in. My name is Harlow. I'm Sydney Australia's Twang Pro Pup and DJ here on this Sunday internet, part of Team Freshers and part of the Twitch Pride Guild. Lady, how are you? How was stream? What were we doing? I want to know. Tell me. Stardew. Wait, I see Stardew. Also, and Daxy, thank you so much for the shout out. But if y'all aren't already, go follow Lady. Fucking hell. Aiden, can we not inform the Raiders about that? I would appreciate that with every raid. We don't do that. Nazo, how are you? Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. You and your background look familiar. What do you mean? What do you mean? Me and my background? Me and my background? Me and my background? What do you mean? Why fails? What do you mean? Me and my background look familiar? What do you mean? Interesting? What do you mean? I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. But Lady, how was stream? I hope you had a fun time with Stardew. I hope you're looking after yourself. Doing great. Also, Raiders and Lady, if you need a raid and run, I completely understand if you need to go eat, drink, shower, sleep, shit, piss, whatever the fuck you got to do, because that's what we say over here. Please go and do that. After stream care is important. Good night. I'm very confused. I'm very, 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 very confused. Yes, but how was Stardew? Hope it was great. Yeah, girl, I'm so confused. I am so confused what we mean by that, but you know what? Mood. Absolute mood. You know, it's great. It's great. Did I bring craziness? No, it's fine. It is so fine. You know what? Here for it. So here for it. We love a bit of crazy over here. I mean, that's literally what's happening with Tomodachi Life at the moment. Our island is being absolutely riddled with like so much love interest that everyone is like falling in love for everyone just about. It's yeah, and just random crazy shit. We're all a little crazy here, yeah, that part. And look, crazy's fun. Crazy's cute. Crazy is a good time, and we love to see it. We love to see it. But yes, if you have to raid and run, if you have to go to sleep because it is early for you, isn't it? Isn't it coming up to 12 right now? Saying you look like Australia's Sydney twig for Australia. You said twinkin, Daxy. That is far from what I just said right now, but you know. Oh well. Oh well. Squid has a moment with us. What do you need? What's up?
I would just love it if there was a raised brick flower bed around here.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna... It's 10:30, but been streaming since 3, so I'm gonna do... Yes! Go do drag. Go look after yourself, please. We are not gonna do that, Squid. We are not gonna do that. You don't need that. You don't need that. Of course it's a flower bed. Yeah, it's a flower bed for some reason.
I'm in the mood to chat with Aiden.
Oh, you're in the mood to chat with Aiden? Let's go find Aiden. Where's Aiden? Let's go find Aiden for you.
I could have sworn I dropped my cooked sausage recipe somewhere around here.
That could be 100 people.
Okay, your cooked sausage recipe? Sure. Is Aiden in the house? Aiden's in their house. Yes, let's do that. Aiden, go say hi. I don't see Lady Lay on the island.
Hi.
Maybe if Lady wants to be on the island, maybe we We might put Lady on the island if Lady would like to be on the island. We could definitely do that. What's happening with Wei? What's going on? Wei?
Bruh, do you have a moment?
I have a moment. What's up?
I would just love it if there was a raised brick flower bed around here.
We are not doing this. We are not doing this. Jakey, what's up?
Oh my glob. Are you waiting for your kettle to boil?
Already have. Let's play bowling. Let's do it. You need to brick up a flower bed? No, we need to crank it. We need to crank it more so. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Fuck me.
Hello.
Hi, Rico. How are you, gorgeous? You better not crank it after Why not? Why not? Am I not allowed, small? Am I not allowed? Why not? We did absolutely shit with that. I hate bowling in this game. This is the wrong channel for that.
Oh my glob.
If I get a box it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Oh my god. How many people are... Oh, okay. Okay, that's all you wanted to do. I think you just got to go slightly off-center for the bowling. Yeah, that's what I did, though. That's the weird thing. That's the weird thing. I went slightly off-center. Is Lee... Oh, okay. Okay, Lee's having a fun time. Oh my god. Okay, Gaga...
Well, yes.
Wait. Recounting Tales of Doom.
Well, yes.
Interesting. Of course, I'm doing it through a laptop. Lupo's on their laptop. Okay, let's finish getting everyone fed. Did we feed Squid?
This is,
Did we feed Squid?
Yes.
No, we
What
did
is
not.
it?
We did not. We need to give Squid. Harlow's reading to everyone? Yeah, I'm reading about my childhood to everyone. We do have kimchi. Who was it, chat, if we can recall? Who was it that was supposedly scared of kimchi? Do we remember? Do we remember? Okay, you didn't like that. Okay. I thought it was Jakey. Okay, well, we need to go to Jakey and try and feed that to them. Because Lupo was apparently scared of ice cream in their dream, and then we gave them ice cream and they really enjoyed it. So, okay, Squid is a very very particular person in what they like and what they don't like. Okay, where's Jakey? Jakey, motherfucker, mistakey. There. Huh. Did we feed you completely?
I'm number 1 trickster May.
No, we didn't. So we're gonna give you kimchi.
Oh my.
Exercising on the beach? Yeah. Oh, Lupo's running back to their house. Okay, so it's giving us hints, I think, to what they like. I think those dreams are giving us hints on what the characters like.
Right.
So I think we're gonna have to do all of that.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, chat. Oh, we've fed you already. Chat, you can have an apple.
Oh my.
Enjoy it.
Lately, I'm seeing Harlow's face in everything.
What about my face? Wait, what about my face? Who are you talking to? Who is that? Who is that? I heard that. Who? Fuck. We're not gonna know now. 2 Oreos and a slice of chocolate cake with whipped cream. That sounds great. Chat, do you all want an expression? You already have a pet phrase of I feel bonita and a starting sentence of hi streamer. My dick fell off? You want to shout that at the sea? You want to shout that at the sea, chat? When angry? When angry?
My dick fell off.
And Daxie, when you find your dick, let us know, yeah? There you go, chat. There you go, chat.
My dick fell off. I always wanted to say that.
You say it a lot already, chat.
Hi streamer. I practice sucking dick and cock for a couple of hours every day. Use it or lose it.
Chat! Fucking hell. No.
This is just what I needed.
Why are you watching Jakey closely? It's important. Yeah, apparently sucking dick and cock
Deadass,
is important.
Excuse me.
Y'all
have
have
you
not
got a
met.
moment? My name is Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Y'all have not
The name's
met.
Jakey Mistakey.
Deadass.
Ben is revealing a little known truth about chat. Ooh.
Hi.
Hi, Buck. Thank you so much for the lurk, lovely. Appreciate you. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, you two are gonna have a sit-down conversation.
So I said,
Solution shit that... Is Gaga...
Huh?
Did we feed Gaga?
Can I help you?
Yes, we did. No, you're fine, Gaga. All good. You got the hiccups? Oh.
Wow, that sprinkler sure sprinkles hard.
So you run back to it?
Ha.
Okay, before you
Yes.
do any
what
water
is it?
moments, we're gonna feed you. We're gonna give you carbonara.
Oh my.
You got the hiccups? No.
You've got to be.
So good.
Nothing beats a fucking jet to holiday. Right now you can say
Oh my god!
Bitch. That's £200 off for a family of four. Girl, that includes bags, I mean baggage. Georgetown.
What the fuck?
I believe dreams can come true.
So can I. Benji, you are the first bitch that we've just found their all-time favorites with. I'm really goated. You are goated. Yes, you are small. Do we feed Zen?
Hello. I love you.
This fucking bitch again.
I love Harlow. Harlow. I want us to go sucking dick and cock together. Harlow. I love you. Harlow. I love how you greet everyone so cheerily. Harlow. I love you.
Fucking Jesus
Harlow.
Christ.
I love you.
Uh-huh. Why are you saying it with such an accent? though?
Harlow. I'm mad about you.
Uh-huh. Okay, thanks, Zen. Wait, we didn't check to see if we fed you already.
Harlow.
Oh.
Your booming voice makes my heart beat like a drum. Ha.
Yeah, I'm distracting you. So sorry.
Hello there.
We need to feed you, Zen. We're gonna give you Peking duck. Why not?
Oh my.
Hyperbrat airline food beam. Jesus Christ. Okay, we love that. What the fuck is Squid doing with Gaga? Oh, Gaga's also doing it as well. Okay. Let's give you a mint sweet.
Oh my.
Gotta keep the beagle breath good, you know? We gotta keep the beagle breath good. Okay.
Hello. I want us to go the straight agenda together. Hello. I'm mad about you.
Okay, I'm cancelling everyone on this goddamn island at this point. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Huh?
Hi, Lupo.
You're looking chipper, gay boy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
My look is lacking something.
Oh, what would you like?
Could you give me some shoes that match this outfit?
I sure can. Let's see. Let's see what we have. We have...
Hello. How you doing?
Jay! How are you, lovely? It's good to see you. Can I get a shout out for Jay, please? I'm gonna give you shoes. Glad you like that. Doing really well, thank you. How are you? We're doing well, we're doing well. We're just ensuring that everyone is fed on this goddamn island at this point in time. But, you know, we're doing well. We're doing well. We're vibing, we're chilling. We're doing some Tomodachi Life tonight. I haven't played for a little while, so as I said, we're catching up on everyone on the island, seeing what's happening. Vibing out and chilling. We're doing good. We're doing good. We released an edit today as well.
I still can't get cruising in public places out of my head. So much to consider.
This island's just turned into a fuck fest. Like, at this point, I'm just... confusion. But yeah, no, we're doing good. We released an edit today of Nina Geraci and Slater today, which was really, really good. I'm glad that we got that out of the way and sorted. Do y'all want to listen to it real quick? Do y'all just want to listen to it real quick? We can take a little bit of a, like, stop real quick to listen to it if we really want to. We want to take a little bit of a break and listen to it. Sure, we can do that. We'll move over to here whilst we do it. Sure, let's do it. We'll chuck it on. Y'all can have a little listen whilst I get some links for it so y'all can listen to it and stuff as well in your own time.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
So that's out. So if y'all want to listen to it, it is on SoundCloud. So y'all can go have a little, you know, fucking cheeky look at that and go listen to it. We're gonna try and do some more. We're gonna try and do some more. I'm glad that we had a lot of fun. With that little edit was a very, very, very good decision. To do that. Also, Reese, hello, lovely. How are you? I've been sent home from work for being too ill. You're sick? You're sick? Also, Sapper Queen, hello. I'm gonna steal that lion plushie. I have a lion plushie behind me. You know that's the VR cat, right? That's the VR cat. That's not a plushie. That's a VR cat. This one? That's the VR cat. That's the VR cat. Got a cold? No, not allowed. Not allowed. You are not allowed to be sick, Reese. What's Jennifer Coolidge want? What does Jennifer Coolidge want?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm a bit bored. What shall I do? I feel like listening to some music.
I've got just the thing. Anime openings compilations. You can listen to it. Oh, you love it. Okay, interesting. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what? An expression. Let's do ending a sentence. Let's go.
Fourth of July? 4th of July?
What's the proper saying? I'm gonna look this up. So I can get that. Oh, you look like. You look like the Oh my god, are we gonna fit it? Are we gonna fit it? Oh, we're gonna fit it. Oh, we fit it.
You look like the 4th of July.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, it makes me want a hot dog real. Yes, yes. I don't know why we put her in a corn on the cob.
Saying that really makes me feel more.
Hi, Daddy Bruce, how are you?
You look like the 4th of July.
I look like the 4th of July. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Okay. How are you, Daddy Bruce? I hope you're doing well. Can I get a shout out for Daddy Bruce too, please? You know what? You can have this.
Oh my.
Thank you. If y'all aren't following them, go and follow them. They're amazing being. She loved it! Loved it over a cooked sausage.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water.
Peppa!
Please help me. Here
How
too
are
much
you,
raining.
Diva? I hope you're doing well. Harlow, have you actually watched Two Broke Girls? If not, you should. You'll see a whole other side of Jennifer. I have not. And by the sounds of it, I need to. By the sounds of it, I need to. You good, Lee? Why is she wearing a corn on the cob? Chat. I'm gonna bring someone. Chat, where am I? First off, where am I? Am I in the house? I'm in the house. We gotta bring us out. Thank you for thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Is it Luminarch? Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome in. Oh no, Jakey, no. Oh my god, I'm so loud.
Well, yes. Everything all right down there.
Give us a hand, please.
We need to find an actual proper
Don't
outfit.
worry. I watched a video on this once.
Slow to begin with, but it's good. She's a sex-obsessed Polish woman. Ooh. Oh wait, I'm a bit awkward with chat.
You're a lifesaver.
Well, yes. I'm so glad you're all right. Yes, Diva.
Okay, are we not awkward anymore? We get on okay. Can we hang out with chat a bit more, actually?
Hey, Naraka.
Okay, we're gonna chat with chat for a little bit longer. Did Squid's fallen asleep? What's going on here?
Ha. My piñata. I should tidy that up.
Good morning, Starshine.
Hello.
The Earth
Hi.
says hello.
Hi, True Dragon. How are you? And thank you so much for the follow.
Ha.
They dropped it.
Ha.
Okay, it's just gonna be this loop constantly at this point in time.
Ha.
How are you? Also, Alpha Wolf, how are
Can't
you?
believe that was just
Yes,
a dream.
hang out with us more. I'm trying my best. Wait, do we have a... Is that a pet now? Is that a pet?
What can I do for you?
Hang on. I need to see. Is that a pet? No, it's not a pet. It's just a toy. Okay. Okay, it's just a toy. Wait, Squid, you have... Hang on. Okay, you have a lot of gifts already. You have a lot of gifts already. Okay. Boss, what are you doing? That mod sword is really coming into effect.
Ben. But my friends call me the truthful nice thick sausage. Final blow. Ben. Lonesome. Innovator.
Wait, are y'all drawing? Who are you drawing? Oh my god, you're drawing Rish. Wait, that's kind of sick. Hold up. We're gonna see what's happening. Boss, I don't control what you say. I don't control what you say. They absolutely do not call me that. Well,
One for a snowball, but you something more to yes, Diva. Well, yes. The Trobby Walker.
Jesus Christ, what is happening over here?
Well, anyway, you see DJ True, Valently, I see Triple Dance on Rocket, so, minor family.
Interesting. Interesting conversations. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's do this wishing fountain. What's Gaga up to? We'll leave Gaga to do their own things. We don't want to annoy Gaga too much. Jesus. Okay, we're gonna have 4 wishes, I believe now. Yeah. Okay. Island Design Center. Ooh, that's cute. What do we want to unlock? Campfire would be cute. Let's unlock that. I do kind of want to do like a foresty type-esque area when we open up the island a little bit more. I kind of do want to... Okay, we do have the pine tree. I do want to make it like pretty cute. but we really need the island to expand more so we have the option to actually build more. Chain fence would be cute for a park. That's true. Yeah, we could do that. No, studio workshop. We can do house exteriors. I forgot about that, actually. Leveling up. Can we get more prezzies? What prezzies can we unlock? We've already gotten all of those. Random set. We need these to... Oh my god, we're like one off. We're like one off from that. Let's get the Angus set as well. Forest for cruising? I mean, we could. We could, in theory. We'll leave the one we'll leave the one wish for now. Wait, what do we got?
Welcome.
Oh, that's for this. Okay. And then one for that as well. These fucking flower beds, I swear to God. Okay. So that... Okay, that should be cute.
Again.
Thank you. Okay. Everyone's just milling around over here. We love that. Aiden's hanging out with Squid. That's good. No one's really doing much at the moment. Should we add another me? Who have we got on our list? Has our list... Have we updated our list in a hot minute? I don't think we have. Let's see what's on our list. Cato. We do actually have Cato's... Who's singing? Who is singing? I hear someone singing. Where's the singing coming from? Is it chat? Oh, it's Gaga. We're getting serenaded by Gaga right now, chat. Oh, we're still going. Okay, shit. Oh, we're still going. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Gaga. Oh, amazing. Amazing, stunning, talented even. We love that. Is this the new Gaga song? Yeah, we got an exclusive new Gaga song. Me and my fucking dog.
You're such a little ray of sunshine.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Alright. Should we bring another me to the island, chat? Should we bring another me to the island? I feel like we should, right? The dog sounds? Yeah, it's amazing, right? It's amazing. Yes, we bring another me. Let me see. I'm gonna have to bring up... Telegram to see. So we got ads. You can make up to 70 me's. Yeah, 70. Yep. 70 me's. 70 bitches on this goddamn island is wild behavior. Cato. Okay. So, I don't know if we can do... I don't know if we can do dual tone eyes. I don't think we can. but there was a tutorial. I don't know why I give up. Yes. Actually, I don't really... I don't... Can we do dual tone eyes? I might have to do them separate. I might need to do it where the eyes are like... this. And do without the... How would I do this? Either I just do one lot of, like, one color for the eyes, or we just... No, shit. What? What's wrong?
Want a break from the ads?
What's wrong, Reese? You okay? All good? Wait, did you send me something? You are wild, boy. You are wild for that one. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Radius Art. I hope you're doing well. I don't know how we're gonna do this for... I don't know how we're gonna do this for Kato. I really don't know how we're gonna do this for Kato. I sent you a text not too long ago, so you was at the top of my list. You did? You sent me a message? Oh, well, yes. You sent me the video. Yes. Yes, you did. Now I've got to find this reference sheet again.
Hello.
Jesus Christ.
Hello.
I'm doing well, thank you. I hope you are as well. We're doing well. We're just... I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go off this ref sheet because... this cat has got 2 color eyes. And I'm like, do we just do it off the one and then... go from there, which I'm feeling like that's probably what I'm gonna have to do, because I'm not gonna be able to do duotone, which that would have been really nice if we had duotone eyes as well. It would have been nice to see, because that's what the color's gonna do. Well, now you can have a nice sticker set. It's green. Thank you so much. Because I've seen people where they've done this, and then they've like gone in and adjusted stuff as well. But I'm also struggling to think how that would work. So I'm thinking we're just gonna have to just work with what we have and go from there, I think. I think we're gonna have to work with what we've got, if I'm gonna be honest. But I'm doing well, Radius. I hope you're having a fantastic morning or night, wherever you are. What hair have they got? They've kind of got a... Kind of have like a mohawky thing going on. And we're gonna have to do black fur as well. It's currently 6 p.m. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Wait. Perth?
Hello.
Also,
How
Squid,
you
thank you
doing?
for your check-in. Reese, thank you for your check-in. And Radius, thank you so much for your check-in. Appreciate it. We might have to... You know what? Kato's gonna have a big... a big mohawk. Kato's gonna have a big mohawk. Oh, Indonesia! I was like, I'm like thinking time-wise, but then I wasn't thinking any other... I apologize. Actually, what's the sub-color gonna look like with that? No, we're not doing the sub-color. Kato does have eyebrows. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 da, da, da. What are the eyebrows like? Eyebrows... Not like that. Kato's eyebrows are more... They are square off-ish on one end. If I could invert that, that would be fantastic. I'm just gonna have to do that. The sticker got delivered to the right person now. I'm glad. Well, I hope your night is treating you well regardless, Radius. Saw the Protogen, just sort of checking out. Oh, you saw the Proto. You saw the Prude. You saw the Prude and said, yes. Yes. Actually, we'll have the Prude on screen for a little bit. Why not? It's been a hot minute. We've been having a camera on most of the time. Bum, 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 bum. It's kind of the wrong nose. That's still the wrong nose as well. We're doing a cat, by the way, chat. Just FYI. We're doing a cat. I think we might have to draw the nose on. I think we might have to draw the nose. I think we're going to have to do that. Lips will do this kind of smile. Then a bit more. We're gonna have to make the mouth a bit smaller as well and shuffle. Meows, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Cute color scheme on him. On the toaster. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, Meals, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Seen too much blues, whites, black. Wait, blues, white blues, black blues. Yeah. Honestly, like, favorite color is green, so we did a sub color for Harlow, which was like really, really nice to see. And did like a sub blue, which kind of worked out really well. Nanto, hello, lovely. How are you? Thank you for the check-in. Hope you're doing fantastic. Oh wait, hang on. This is the perfect mouth for a cat. Hold up. This is the perfect mouth for a cat because I can literally line that up so well. I can line that up so fucking well, actually. Hang on, we didn't change the head shape. We didn't change the head shape. That's not it. We need...
Hello. How are you doing?
More rounded? I mean, I thought this game would let you make animals as everyone makes them furry or not. Yes, it does. It does, Reese. That's why there's a paint tool. We can paint to our heart's content. We can paint to our heart's content in this game, which is fantastic. Sorry I've been in and out of chats all the time. No, you are so fine. You are so fine. Yeah, we're about to make a cat. We've made a wolf thus far. And we've made a dog. We made a beagle. So we've been doing all that fun shit. Okay. The silly thing is though, when I want to do this, I like to take the switch out so I can actually properly... Hang on, I need to move this mouth up a little bit more, I think. I need to move this mouth up a little bit, I think. Or maybe not. Do I need to squish the head a little bit? I think we need to squish the head a little bit. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to squish the head a little bit. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. That should be fine. Now. Make it look more aliens as the white cats are. Oh my god, not this. Look, I'm going off the ref that they've given me. It's going to be a bit hard to see. But going off the ref that they've given me, I can't really do the dual tone eyes, which is a shame. But we work with what we've got. We work with what we've got. And we go from there. Which, this means that I need to alien... Jesus Christ. Which means I'm going to need to take my switch out of my dock so I can properly draft out a thing. So, hope you'll all allow me to do that real quick. Hopefully. Get to re-listen to that song. Which song, Indexy? Which song? This one? This song? This song? No, I will put this on and this. Oh, my new one? Oh, y'all wanna listen to this. Do y'all wanna listen to this again? Damn popular.
Hello.
I don't know what you mean, Faye. We're just here vibing and chilling. We're just here vibing and chilling. I don't know what you... Oh my god, I'm cramping. Ah, I'm back. Ah, fuck. Oh shit. Ah, that's great.
Hello,
I love that
how
I'm
are
cramping.
you? I am under the water.
Hey,
Please help
Vig,
me.
how are
Here too much
you?
raining.
Are you old? Hey, I worked out my back last night. Calm down, chat. Also, Vig, thank you for your check-in. How are you, lovely? I will chuck this on one more time for y'all whilst I'm doing this, okay? I'll chuck this on whilst I'm drawing real quick. Okay. Because y'all are asking. I'll get you a Zimmer frame. Thank you, Diva. I appreciate the Zimmer frame. Thank you.
Hydrate or dihydrate, you dick.
Hydrate? Okay, iPhone now. Wait, what's wrong, Faye? What's wrong? You okay? Why is this popping up now? No. Do not piss me off, Paris to New York. What you waiting for? Crank it, we're gonna need to...
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Just listen to your remix and you're reminding me I need to listen to Slater's new album and Nina's album in full. Yes! Do it. Do it. We're literally listening to it right now as well. Maybe back later. That's okay, Faye. Not a problem. Buck Slater, Richard, we could link later. Send to my hotel and suck 'em off in the elevator. Saint Laurent. Ground. Money maker. How the fuck do I do a cat's nose, chat? That's what I fucking like. Alright, alright, alright. This looks like shit. This looks like shit. It's crazy. Google it. I mean, yeah, I'm seeing what the cat's face looks like right now, but like me trying to like get this to line up perfectly. Diva, she's questionable. I wanna fuck my computer. No one in the world knows me better. Who says my name? You know what? It'll work. It'll work. Get so gay off that tequila. Let me go cause I'm so fearless. Crank it. Crank it, chat. Ba-da-da, bum, 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 bum. No, this is completely wrong. How the fuck am I gonna do this? Do a triangle? Well, I mean, yeah. I've got to add like the curvature to it as well, though. I've got to add the curvature to it as well. Also, I found some new songs recently as well. We're gonna play them. We're gonna play some new songs because yes, we're gonna do that. There we go. Okay, you know what? That works. That works. Copy. There we go. Flip that. Sure. Okay, we'll work with that. What one looks like? Never looked at a cat that much before. Well, other than cat furs. Saw some of them this weekend just gone. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. There we go. There we go. Three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works. That works. That actually works. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm actually kind of happy with that now. Okay. And now we need to... Actually, that does work. That does work. Hold up. That mouth is going to have to come up, though. Yeah, that mouth is going to have to come up. Actually, this needs to move over by 1. Yes. Okay. That, this, no. Okay, that should work. We'll make it a bit thicker as well. There we go. Okay. That should be fine. That's the nose now. That's the nose. Sorry, I wish y'all could see what I'm doing right now. I so wish y'all could see what I'm doing right now. Oh, not me, just... There we go. Yeah. Why should it look like a bunny now? It look like a bunny. Oh, I'm gonna have to bring this up actually. Copy that. Bring this down. This. That. Da 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 da. I'm gonna need a. Hang on. Give me a second, chat, whilst I. Actually, that works. There we go. That's what I want. Oh, not what I want. Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. That scared the shit out of me. Holy shit. Holy crap. Are we up to much today, chat? Are we doing anything exciting? Anything fun? Fucking hell, Squid. Goddamn. Actually, we'll get rid of this lining. Yeah. That's better. That is actually better. That is better. Okay. No. No. I'm gonna copy that. No. Okay. Yep. That. How to get back at you. How to get back at you. That. Yep. Now. Need to line that up with the mouth so I can paint bucket that. Yes. Good. I can be a brat as treat. As a treat. As a treat. Hang on. I'm gonna add a source. Text this. There we go. So people aren't so confused why we're just sitting here. So people just think that we're not just sitting here doing nothing. Yeah, he tripping. One of my old hoes. Got a new car so I can shit on you. Your new bitch ugly too. Boy, I'm mad at you. I had to get back at you. I had to get back at you. Yeah, got a new man. I got a new damn mention in Malibu. I back at you. I had to get back at you. Boy, I'm mad at you. I had to get back at you. I back at you. Yeah, got a new man. I got a new damn Malibu. I back at you. I back at you. Okay. This is baby, knock me out. My body is on fire, but my baby wear me out. Okay. I think we're going to have to do this in 2 parts, which is going to be annoying, but we're going to have to make it work. My body is on fucking hell, baby, put me out. Yeah, we're going to have to do this in 2 parts. Okay. My baby, put me out. Oh. Been looking up at puppets recently. Oh, yeah. Yeah. How's the discovery going, Squid? My body is on fire, come on, baby, put me out. Okay. How's the self-discovery going with that? It's been a while since we've talked about it. Thank you. Oh, Nina, yes. Thank you so much. In my dream. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, 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 bum. Oh, fuck. I need to go up one. Why do we keep going down? Does that line up? Kind of. That lines up. Okay, cute. Okay, so now we do this. I think we got it. And then we're going to need to like do the chin. Fuck, I should have done that before. Hang on. Okay, we're going to do that before the, yeah. Okay. So we're going to need to, fuck, wrong color. Actually, we need to do it gray. We need a gray, lighter gray. Yeah, there we go. No, need to go wider. Oh yeah, we do. We need to go wider. Here. No? Here. Sorry, chat. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Okay, now I need to do the ears. This is what's going to be very annoying. This is what's going to be annoying. How am I going to do that? Only been looking at Amazon once. Yeah, no, that is, that's probably a good starting point. 100%. Like, because if you're looking at like Mistress and stuff like that as well, they're like very pricey in that regard too. So I would say definitely try out those ones before anything else. I'm not a hubhood expert by any means as well, so. Bum ba da dum bum bum bum. Go smooth. We're gonna need a straight line for that one. Straight. Do a straight line as a base for. It's definitely not. Diva, that is not straight. That is not straight. We're just gonna have to smooth it. That's fine. Oh, I see what you did. Don't stand too close, too far. It's 200 degrees. It's like it would help my confidence in the clubs being able to hire. It isn't. Look, a hood isn't really supposed to be something to, like, really hide behind either. I wouldn't think about it as like hiding. I would say it's more of like a, no, it's letting the pup inside you out. You know. I'm sure there'd be a few pups in chat as well that'd be able to explain properly in detail and give their experiences and stuff. So everyone's journey is very different, and how people feel in hood as well is also different from what I've discovered too. So we're gonna do that. That is a weird curvature, Harlow. What the fuck have you done? I'm trying so hard chat in this to get this ear correct and also trying to get this fluff to be perfect as well. It's a bit hard when you're trying to draw animals. Or trying to draw personas, sorry. In Tomodachi Life. It's not as easy as people think it is. And yes, I've seen the tutorial videos and all that kind of stuff as well on how people do it, but it's kind of nice to have uniqueness to, you know, it's kind of unique to have interesting sonas. I swear all your teens, dishnets, big enough for me. Oh shit, did I not keep that pink? Fuck. Actually, I'm gonna need that. PlayStation, freak it. Gonna do that. This is so interesting. This ear is just very unique. This ear is so unique. Oh my god. You know what? We love uniqueness over here. Touchdown. Okay, and we're going to invert. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. I might change the hairstyle though, I think. We might change the hairstyle. Touchdown, bring it all around. You know what? I think that might be there. Hi? No, not my persona. No, we're doing a viewer's persona right now. They look so scary. I think we're going to need wider eyes. I think we're going to need wider eyes for... This is so scary. This is so scary. And I think we might need to... Actually, hang on. I'm going to do this before you'll see. Oh my god. Yeah, we need to change the eyes. This is this isn't what I thought we were gonna... They look like they... Oh my god. Diva. I don't know if it's the eyebrows. I don't know if it's the eyebrows. You like it when I'm on that lipstick on your tongue. And tell me where you... I mean, look, it looks cute, don't get me wrong, but the way... Okay, that's... Okay, that actually made it better. Actually, that made it better. Okay, that's kind of cute. I feel like I need to change the hair, though. I do feel like we need to change the hair. Okay. I'm going to show y'all. Okay? I'm going to show y'all. I did... Is this not on the dock? On the dock. There we go. Dog tries to draw cat. Dog tries to draw, period. Dog tries to draw, period. Okay? Alright. Dog tried with the cat. Dog tried with the cat. Okay, chat? As I said, we're working with what I can do. So, you know, I think the face shape is off. I know I can't help it with the face shape. There's not that many face shapes. There's not that many face shapes. Bottom left. Bottom left. Oh, bottom left. I'm dumb bitch. Girl, that's alright, yeah. Because on the Sona, the head is more squished. So that's why I was like, yes, that would be perfect. Is that not a cat chin? This? The cats don't have elongated faces in Daxi. Do we know, chat, do we know what a cat looks like? Not Charity Crochet. Thank you for the follow and hello, welcome in. Look. I'm just working with what we got, Diva, because that's an elongated cat. That's an elongated cat. That's an elongated squared cat. That's why I was like, okay, that kind of works. I think the OG one works best. That's what I was thinking. Like, kind of rounded, because that's all I can, like, really, really do work with. I told you that personas are going to be cursed as shit on this island, chat. Personas are going to be cursed as shit. And I can't help it. I can't help it. They're going to be cursed sonas. Now they just look upset. If the eyes are bigger, because cats have big eyes. Actually, yeah, the eyes are big, yeah. Okay, that's kind of cute. That's actually kind of cute. Why is that kind of cute, though? But I need the right eyebrows, so. No. I've only been here for like 5 minutes and I already love your vibes. I appreciate that. You know what? I think we like that. I think that's what we're gonna... I think that's what we're gonna have to work with. But this hair, though, we need to change this. We need to change this. No, because it needs to come down. But I think that's just what we're gonna have to work with, if I'm gonna be honest. Because there's like no other mohawk kind of style-esque hairs. That's a bit too much. That's way too much because it's not what the ref sheet represents. I think that's just what we're going to have to do, chat. I think that's what we're going to have to do. There we go. I think we got it. I think we got it. I think we got Kato. What are you going for? Okay, so one of our viewers sent through their ref sheet. So we're going off this. That's from their ref. So, but this is the closest that we can really go with for having that swoosh. If I'm going to be honest, there's really not much else that we can do. So this is pretty close. This is as close as we're going to get. This is as close as we're going to get for... What's wrong, Squid? What's wrong, Squid? Pits? Pits? Yeah? There we go. Alright. Yeah. But I think this is the closest we're actually going to get for that. So I think we're just going to roll with it. I don't know how tall Kato is. Kato didn't really send us that much info on them as well. So we're going to make them a little bit of a tall fur. We'll make them a bit of a tall fur. We're going to go... Sugar... Kato. Artistic mania. I'm gonna need to actually mute this and stop the music. Sorry, chat. We'll just sugar. How tall did you make me? Squid, you sent me your height, right?
My name is Sugar.
You're behind all the camera stuff. There you go. There you go. You're like here. Actually, no, you'd be a little shorter. You'd be like there, I think. No, actually, yeah, you'd be here. You're like, yeah. You're 6 foot. Well, I'm 6'5", so, you know, there's gap there. So, that's fine. That is so fine, Diva. That is so fine. Okay.
My name is Sugar.
Yep, we'll do. Oh, no, fuck. Not what I want. There we go.
My name is Sugar.
There we go. I'm gonna go non-binary because we don't know. And we'll do dating preferences for everyone until we see Kato in stream next. Big kitty, big kitty. We'll go either is okay for now. I'm gonna do Kato there for now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
My name is Chip. My name is... My name is Chip. My name is...
How does a cat normally sound?
My name is Sugar. My name is Sugar. My name is Sugar. It's nice to meet you. My name is Sugar. It's nice to meet you.
Great man, thank you so much
Today
for the follow.
is the
Appreciate
6th
it.
of May,
Do you have to go to bed or do you
2026?
have to see another one of your
So,
streams?
how
Good
does this voice
night.
Do you like it?
Good
My name
night.
is Sugar.
Oh
It's
my
nice to
god.
meet you. Today
We
is the
like
6th
that?
of May,
What? We?
2026.
Why are we weeing? What?
So,
What,
how
what,
does this voice sound? My name is Sugar. It's nice to meet you. My name is
Why
Sugar.
are we...
It's nice to meet you. My name is Sugar. It's nice to meet you. Today is the 6th of May, 2026. So, how does this voice sound?
You know what? Yes, that's fine. Kato is not related to anyone. Cats move pretty quick. I would say polite. I would say they're not on the flat side, but definitely down here. Attitude, very relaxed. And we'll go minimal on this. Okay. We'll do this. There we go. Easy going. We love that. Thoughtful, honest, innocent, does things at their own pace. Idealistic and romantic. Often has their head in the cloud. Oh, everyone's got their head in the fucking clouds on this goddamn island. Time to build a home. Yes. Okay, how long did that take us, chat? Like an hour? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. That took us like an hour.
You're gay boy, right? It's nice
It
to
seems
meet
sassy
you.
when in chat. Yeah,
I'm
we
Sugar.
probably should have went to sassy.
I'm an easygoing dreamer. I know I come across pretty laid back.
Probably should
I
have went
just
that.
keep my anxiety bottled up. where
Ryko,
it
what are you up
belongs.
to, lovely?
You
What are you
seem
doing?
nice. I'm sure we'll get on great.
Yes, yes. There we go. Cute.
Would you prefer an eventful life or an uneventful life?
You are the second me. Like me, I heard sassy. Hello, welcome in, lovely. No, this is for Sugar Cato. Trying to
An
figure out.
eventful life might seem more interesting, but it's probably more stressful. I'm not a huge fan of stress, to be honest.
That's fair. Who is? Who is a fan of stress? Not me. Not me. I know I'm only joking. How are you, lovely, though? Hope you're doing well. What the fuck am I doing? Am I seeing ants again? Yes, I'm seeing ants. We're skipping this. We don't need to see this again. Yeah, what does this mean? What does it mean? You're gonna go say hi to Kato. Go say hi to Kato. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I don't think I've seen you
I'm
around.
screaming at
I'm
them.
Hello. Yes, Diva.
Lovely to meet you. Hello. I'm Sugar.
Yes! There we go. Stitches out today, but it's fine. I hope you're resting. Oh, showering Sugar Cato with Pro. God damn it. God damn it. We talked about the cooked sausage chat. Cato literally just joined the island and we talked about cooked sausage. What's happening with... Lupo! Lupo! No. Fuck me. Sorry, Lupo. You're coming back out. Help Jennifer, please.
Got yourself in a bit of a fix, eh? I'm stuck.
Yes, you are.
Bit of this, bit of that, and Bob's your uncle. Uncles aside, I think that's helping.
Yes.
I want a hot dog real bad. You're the best. You look like the 4th of July. Just doing my good deed for the day.
Okay, we need Lupo to get on that. We need Lupo to get on all that. What's Lee need? Lee, what's wrong?
Good evening.
Good eve. You're hungry again? Didn't we just feed you? Also, you're vegetarian. What am I gonna give you? Baked beans.
Oh my.
We accidentally gave Lee a cooked sausage. I want to try and move that off the list so Lee doesn't realize that they ate meat. I don't know what that pancake is, but sure. Have you had porridge yet? I don't think you've had porridge. We're gonna buy porridge.
Welcome.
We're gonna buy a whole bunch of porridge for Lee. There we
Thanks
go.
for shopping with us.
There you go, Lee.
Oh my.
Enjoy the porridge. Lovely. Okay, you only liked it well enough. Okay. This is gonna be hard. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay.
I've been thinking of doing something different with my hair. What do you think? Well, yes.
No, it looks fine as is. You're not doing anything.
You think so? I'll leave it as is then. Well, yes.
Yeah, you're not getting hair, Lee. You're not gonna get hair, Lee. It's not happening.
Hey.
Hey.
Last night, I was up for hours thinking about Fortnite. Well, yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Who else is being needy? What's going on with Zen? Zen?
Ha. Good evening.
Good evening. What's happening?
Wouldn't it be marvelous if Hollow and I lived together?
Everyone wanting to fucking move in together is absolutely wild thoughts to me. This is becoming a reoccurring thing. This is becoming a reoccurring thing. This theme tonight of just moving into households?
Really? I'm glad I asked.
We're not gonna do this today.
Fuck yeah, dude. Just thinking about Harlow makes my heart pound.
Crazy. Crazy. You guys aren't moving in together. Harlow's already living in a house with Jakey. Aiden, what do you need? What's up?
Fancy playing Poke the Ferris wheel together?
Sure. Okay. Spin the Ferris wheel using a set number of pokes so that the carriage the maze in stops right at the bottom.
Poke the Ferris wheel 2 times and make my carriage stop at the bottom.
Okay. Right.
You can hold down the A button to charge up your poke. Now, let's start.
Oh God. Okay.
Woo.
Okay.
Give it one last poke. This view never gets old.
Oh my God, it's so fucking
morning,
close.
God,
The Earth says
so
hello.
close.
Not the WHS with people standing near the moving carts, right? They're all just like, they're all just standing there. Also, hi Jakey, how are you? Hope you're doing well.
You can't
Hope you're
win
doing
them
well,
all.
lovely.
Here.
The consolation prize of a fucking box of tissues, I swear to God. Thank you, Aiden. Appreciate it. These two. That the island has a hidden secret? Yeah, that you're not real. Whoops. Whoops, so sorry. Okay, what's everyone else want? Gaga is... Oh, okay.
I wish my chin was wider.
Your chin. That's oddly specific.
What are you talking about?
Your chin is perfectly fine as is.
Okay, Gaga, Jesus.
Happiness is what happens when Big Boy gives you something super yummy to eat. You agree? Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And no.
Ah,
The
Gaga.
other day I ate so much, I had a terrible nightmare about a mountain of macadamia nuts. Did you know this place has a secret menu?
What? Really? I've been coming here for ages.
You've only been coming here for a few weeks.
So the rumors are true?
You've only been here for a few weeks. How do you know about a secret menu?
Did you hear about Zen and Little Monster? Oh, pretend you didn't.
I bet I know what you were going to say.
Oh, come on. Out with it. Please.
Of course, chat would be needy about this. Of course, chat would be needy about information like that. Especially when it comes to their love interests. Gaga spreading tea? Literally. Gaga be spreading so much tea. Jakey, what are you... Jakey, now you're being fucking needy. What's up?
Ha.
Huh?
Oh my glob. I got time before my doctor's appointment.
Not the doctor's appointment. What's missing? Okay, we're getting all these new games. I love that. What's missing from the picture? Okay.
Here's your first question.
Mm-hmm.
So, which item can't you see? 3.
Roast chicken.
What's missing is a roast chicken.
Yeah.
Next up, your second question. So, which item can't you see?
Hello.
3.
Hello.
2.
Boiled
Hello.
octopus.
What's missing is
Hi, Theo. How are you? Lovely.
some boiled octopus.
Thank
And
you.
finally,
Thank you.
the last question.
Yeah.
So, which item can't you see? 3, 2.
The
What?
fuck is that? Roasted
The
lamb
correct
leg.
answer is a roasted lamb leg.
We did so well. We did so well, chat. We did so well. It's good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you, Jakey.
Oh my-
Congratulations. What do we get? What is that? A train? We got a model truck. We could have gotten a squirrel pet. We could have gotten a squirrel pet. Also, Jakey, you live in the pound. What the fuck is wrong with you now? What's going on?
Ha. Why won't it open?
Oh.
Try giving it a push.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, what's in there though? What's in there though? Because we don't like... We don't
Hello,
actually
how
know
are
what's
you?
in there.
I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Oh, just the loot. Oh, it's the toilet. It's the toilet. Okay. Wait, we have toilets in the house? Wait. Why do I walk like that? Because it's how you walk. Hi, Professor... Professor Garbage. Wait. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh, welcome in. Yes, I read that wrong. So sorry. How are you? Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. What am I doing? Am I about to see Zen? I need to... Yes, Zen? What are you doing? My arms? I know. I think the forearms are a bit... like, unproportioned. Zen's check. Oh, Zen's blood. Oh, Zen's blood.
I can't believe I just ran into my beloved Hollow like that. It must have been destiny at work.
My God. Crazy. What the fuck is everyone doing in Way's house right now? What's happening? Oh.
Both.
Oh. They're Why are they talking about me? Wait, it seems they're explaining that the UFO is surprisingly skillful at jerking it. Please, I fucking cannot. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. Everyone is shocked. Everyone is shocked. But why was I brought up in that conversation is crazy. Cato, what's happening? Lovely. There we go.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to be friends with Harlow.
Yes, we should do that.
So, what should we talk about?
We are going to talk about these gays on the island.
All right.
We're going to talk about these gays on the island, chat. Let's talk about it. Let's let this be a discussion.
Good evening, Harlow. Would you like to have a chat about these gays on the island?
Yes.
I have a question for you, Sugar. If you had to choose between these gays on the island and Fortnite, which would you pick?
God.
I guess I'd pick these gays on the island.
Really? In that case, we're going to get along like two peas in a suitcase. Yes, Diva.
Well,
Let's be friends.
Gonna head to bed. Good night, Aiden. Have an amazing eepy sleepy. Love that.
Want a break from the ads?
Have a good sleep, Aiden. And we're friends. Good shit.
Best day ever.
I see. Who could have fooled Sugar? Well, Miranda. Ralapine Bass. Yes, Diva.
Zen is literally hanging around so much. More peers? I know. Oh. Chat, what are you dreaming about? What are you dreaming about, chat? What's going on? Wants to get married to Gaga. Are we about to have a dream with Gaga? No. Oh.
Heavenly Striker walks like a robot.
Ruinous McLaren P1 uppercut.
Scorching nice thick sausage.
Oh.
Flame.
Oh.
Huh. Why are all my dreams so weird lately?
Chat, you dreamed about a sports show.
What can I do for?
You can go back to bed, chat. It's fine. You can go back to bed. You can go sleep. That's okay. Who's this? Squid is just resting on the beach. Lupo's having a fun grand time. Yeah. Yeah. Benji's in there by himself. If I had Reiko, I would make Reiko just be in the restaurant all the time. Are they still talking about this UFO and joking it? No, they're talking about the straight edge.
Wow.
Debating a rumored connection between the UFO and the straight agenda right now. This would be because of Indaxi. Indaxi is spreading the truth of the straight agenda apparently at this point. You know what? Can Zen join in on this conversation? Can Zen join in on this? Wait, hang on. You're strangers. Hold up.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hey. Nice to meet you. I'm Zen. Hey, Zen. The name's Endaxi.
If these two walk off, I'm gonna scream.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Happily chatting away about himself, excited to talk to someone new, period. I love that. Good. Oh, well, no, cooked sausage now. Okay. Yep. We love to see it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you. I feel like Endaxi.
Luna Fairy, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Alright. What do we... Stands with arms crossed, I think, for Zen. Cute.
Oh, I feel somewhat different.
Mm-hmm.
So, ooh, Tinderlunder.
Bruh, the Trabia Walker.
Oh, wait, hang on. You're straight.
Wow. Bruh, British line. Trafalgar. Wow. High G.
Now they're saying that the UFO is more precious than a nice
Bruh,
thick sausage.
my
Okay, fuck this shit. We're out. We're out. Where am I going?
Oh.
I was sure I had something important to do here.
Jesus. Why don't you work out with Jakey? Why don't you work out with Jakey?
Oh, bitch. Hi there.
Hoppers. I'm #1 trickster main.
We're gonna work out together. Yes! Jakey, this is gonna be you and I when we go to the gym. By the way. This is gonna be you and I when we go to the gym. This is happening. This is definitely happening. Alright, well, we're gonna let these two have a moment. That's fine. These two are working out. Chat's still asleep. What's fucking wrong with Gaga now?
I'm feeling so sad right now.
Why?
There could be 100 people. I was talking to Little Monster.
Which
but
one?
Things just didn't
Squid.
click.
Squid, you make Gaga upset. How could you make Gaga upset? Hoppers, I'm #1 trickster main. Yes. Yes, yes. Kato is...
Hi.
Hi. Kato, you know you're not supposed to like water, right? You're a cat, after all. Water would be cool as fuck. Yeah, that part, yeah.
I talked with Harlow about these gays on the island. That actually got him really animated, so we're friends now.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Benji, what are you doing? What's Benji doing? Oh, you're gonna have a conversation.
Oops. Hope I didn't scare them.
Well... Also, Jakey, I hope everything's been... Why have I got a love interest? Why have I got a love interest all of a sudden?
Ha!
What is going on?
Ah. Jerking it. Oopsies. You caught me daydreaming. Yes, diva.
No, it should be... Crank it.
It may just be my imagination, but... I have a nagging feeling that Rish bitch fancies me.
Why is your room a hamster? Didn't you pick it, Jakey? Didn't you pick it like a couple weeks back? I swear you picked that like a couple weeks back. I swear that was you. No. Maybe I just gave it to you. Maybe I just gave it to you. Wait, it says not a great match though, and Rish is a bit awkward. It's not gonna work, Diva.
Are you really sure? Right. In that case, please forget I ever brought this up. Yes, diva.
Sorry. Okay, you know what? Jakey, you want a different room?
Yesterday.
Oh, fuck me. What's going on now?
So, then, you'll never believe it. A pup hood. Oh, speaking of a pup hood, you won't believe what happened to me the other week. Whatty, I tan a pup hood. Salfana. Lumpy jack in it babe, multi-cock. Howdy.
Multi-cock? Did I hear that correct?
And they all lived happily ever after. Not. Little did I know, the pup hood story was just beginning. Hey, are you even listening to me? This pup hood is gonna haunt my dreams tonight.
No.
Ah, I feel my love for you fading away. Cock and joy. Well, anyway, Shunsi Dejeku, Philenzami, howdy.
Well, you're back to conversation again. Home interior, let's see. Your room. On to the next, exactly. We can give you the polka dot set. If you really want. Or we can buy you a new one. We are not spending $1,000 on you, Jakey, so don't get thinking about that. We can go minimalist if you really want. We can go minimalist and give you whatever color you want in that. Jakey is worth 1K. Can give you the exposed brick. Can give you a natural wood set. A try as you might set. And blocked, lol. Can give you a honeycomb set. The polka dot set. We can give it to you in any color if you want a specific color as well. We can give you a specific color. I take it back, it's $1. Fuck me dead, Jesus Christ, in Daxi. Wow. You want blue? The one that we don't have? You want this one or this one? Which one tickles your fancy more? This one? Or the lighter blue? It's not what I wanted. This one.
Thanks for shopping. Please come again.
Thank you, Ben. Alright. Light blue. Say again! If you don't like it, you like it well enough. You like it well enough. Okay.
Thanks. It looks different.
You actually asked me for a new room, I swear, before, so that's gonna happen. Okay, so they're all there. Wait. Oh yeah, because those two are talking. In Daxi's home. What's Way doing? Whose house is this? Gaga's. Oh, and there's Gaga. You having fun, Gaga? You having fun?
Hello.
This
How you
beat
doing?
drop has been seized by Atlantic
morning,
Records
Tino.
and has been replaced with silence.
You know what?
Well, then none of these they're gonna get a hero.
We're gonna put another one next to her. Oh, I just took away the other one. That's not what I wanted. Let's get back the other one. Tino, how are you? Good morning. Hope you're doing well, lovely. We're gonna put that... Fuck. How do I rotate? This. Yes. I'm gonna do that. You know what? That's fine. That should be fine. How are you? Good morning. Okay, Gaga, you can go back on it now. I'm so sorry. There you go. Interact. EP, don't wanna be EP? You don't wanna be EP? Someone was down here. Wait. You and Gaga can have fun. Don't want to work today? Aw, that's fair. That's fair. You know what? You and Gaga can have fun. There we go. Oh. I thought... You're just gonna sit on it, Gaga? You're not gonna... No? Okay. She's judging? Yeah. She's judging. Wild behavior. Has Lee got any interactions with anyone on the island, actually? Right.
Hello there.
You don't want to work today. That is so valid. That is very valid, though. Tomodachi is wild. There's only 8 me's, but there seems crazy shit that happened. Oh my god. He doesn't even have friends. Wants to be friends. Wants to be friends. Wants to be friends. Could be friends. Seems like-minded. Seems like-minded. Not interested in Lady Gaga is a wild thing. You still have a lot of... Actually, you know what? Because you're apparently not interested in Lady Gaga, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna...
Oh. So nice to see you.
Finally! Finally!
I actually have a small gift for you. Here.
Oh, that's too kind. I couldn't possibly.
Please, I insist.
No, no. Such an expensive gift would be utterly wasted on me.
Where did Lee get that from?
I got it for free. Don't worry.
It's a very kind offer, but I'm fine, honestly.
Nonsense.
Where did Lee get that from, for starters? I didn't think Lee had any meat items in their house, let alone on their person.
Oh, Philanthropy. Empower. Tomato.
So I'm gonna leave these two to chat. Aiden is being frozen. Lupo, you can help Aiden. Help Aiden.
Oh dear, what's wrong?
There we go.
I just can't move.
Got rid of my AMD GPU yesterday and picked up a 5070, and I should have done that last year over the AMD. Well, I thought you had a reason why you went the AMD, right? There was a reason why you went the AMD, correct?
Thank you. I was in a bit of a pinch there. Just racking up some good karma.
That with the, like, magic shit in the background on their voice. It's just wild. Advice from Techie, and that was his recommend. Oh, okay. Never again. Ooh. Actually, what news ones have we... There was one that we saved. There was something about squid. Let's look at this.
This is me news for the 25th of April, 2026. Here's a heartwarming story that will put a smile on your face.
If Squid is here, you'll be able to see a story
To the
about
amazement
you.
of Squidward, the tomatoes he had grown in his garden looked just like him. Asked about his amazing crop, Squidward said, "People always say that if you raise children with love, they will resemble you. I never knew that this also applied to tomatoes." Squidward then proceeded to gnaw on a tomato that looked just like him, saying, "Yum, yum. Get into my belly." We asked residents for their reactions.
That news makes me really happy.
Am I on TV right now?
Of course, Jakey would say something like this
Thank
as well.
you for watching. I'm Harlow, and that was me news for the 25th of April, 2026.
That was 25th of April.
Thank you.
That was 25th of April. I swear there was a few new ones that we had as well. New Way to Go Nowhere. Western Europe, 20 entries, Southeast Asia, Lupu travels to Quantum Realm. Actually, we'll save that. Cute. Did my camera not? There we go. That was weird. That was weird. I feel like we're going to need to put some more Miis on the island to expand. So we can do someone basic. Do we have... I'm having a look at this list real quick. Alright, so we got Kato. Should we put another... Jakey, that should be your new Discord image. That should be your new Discord image. The one that you put in Chanarino. Should do that. What's in here? Zen, what's going on? Oh god.
Hey, wait up. Catch me if you can. I'm gonna eat you.
Sorry.
Ooh, I'm so scared. Hee hee hee. Ha 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 ha. If only we could be sweethearts.
May Haley Williams and Scissor on my island and they're best friends and live together. I love that. I love that. Where's... There we are.
I'm full of beans.
I'm full of beans.
The love of my life. Deeper.
You two are chatting.
Evening. Hi. Hello. Hey, Narakapa. Daprating.
What are we chatting about?
Ha ha ha.
Oh, we're playing it. Okay. We're playing games now. Uh-huh. Oh. Me being out of breath is crazy. Oh, well. Well. I'm gonna leave these two love interests. Are we back here? Lee's talking about poppers? Non-judgment zone for discussing poppers. Where's Jakey in this? Everyone's acquaintances, apart from Indaxian Way. Okay. What's Squid doing?
Looks like I stumbled upon the night market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not open. You fell over in the background, did I? I fell over? Oh, well. We're just having a fun time. We needed to change from gets on okay to, like, something else, so...
You'll never catch me. I'm nice.
Well... Let's see. Who else is being needy? Benji? What's Benji doing? What's going on?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to be friends with Mother Monster.
We can do that. That sounds great.
So, what should we talk about?
You know what? Recently you talked about poppers. So I think we should bring up the Actually, no. Fuck it. We're talking about jockstraps.
All right.
We're talking about jockstraps today. Jockstraps would be great.
Good evening, Mother Monster. Would you like to have a chat?
Uh-huh.
About jockstraps.
Yeah, all right.
Right now, it feels like jockstraps is all anyone's talking about these days.
I vaguely remember hearing something about that. I'm no expert, though. I don't really keep up with trends. Benji, could you fill me in?
Oh,
of course. I'll walk you through it all. Don't worry.
Period. Are they now friends? Thank God. Thank God.
What is going on?
Alright, so... Oh, well, that's Mother Monster anyway. Or is that gonna be...
Good evening, Mother Monster.
Yeah, and then we need this to be... Little monster. Yes. Waiting for you to nickname someone
Good evening. Judas, you seem to be...
Best day ever. Mother Monster and I are now friends. And it's all thanks to the power of jockstraps.
I hope Judas gets me clued up on everything that's been trending lately.
Period. Now, we're gonna give them a Bulk Your Bod DVD because Benji loves the gym. Benji loves the gym. So we're gonna ensure that.
Thank you. I'll take a look at it later.
Yes. Okay.
Well,
is that everything? Because I am hungry and want to go make some food before I go to the gym tonight. I am feeling hungry. I am feeling a little hungry. So I think that might be it for tonight, chat. I honestly think that might be it for us tonight. Yes. Thank you so much, game. Thank you so much. Thanks for the stray poppers. You know what, Jakey? Crank it, Diva. Crank it. You know? Crank it. Alright. Glad I got to catch you for a little. No, I appreciate it. Look, I wasn't thinking of ending early tonight, but I'm like getting to the point where I'm hungry. I was going to make food before stream, but I just completely forgot to do such thing. So, but I'm glad that y'all were here to vibe out and chill and have fun. Upload some of these VODs to YouTube. Would love to watch it back. Jakey, check out the channel. We have the first one up there. I'm so close to finishing off the second one because we have a little bit of a backlog with the Tomodachi VODs. So I'm going to be...
Well, I need you to drive me in the
Lupo.
boat. Drive the boat to the shore.
Lupo.
Please. These gays, they're trying to murder me.
Lupo, now I got to boot the Switch back up so you can see. Fuck. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Hello?
Keep going. Show me. Oh my god. Okay, give me like 2 secs whilst I... Actually, hang on. Do I have videos? Hang on. Oh yeah. We have Is this gonna play? Oh yeah. When you got introduced to Way, you talked about gooning. You got super into it. It's great. There was something with you. You're not in these ones. I swear there was something about... Was it this? Is it this? No, it's not that. I'm just gonna have to boot up the island again. That's fine. Does that mean a maid's dress? Jakey. Yes. You know that you were in a maid's dress. You know you were in a maid's dress, Diva. You know this. Also, Lupo, how are you? Can I get a shout out for Lupo? If you all aren't following them, please go and fucking do it. Please go and fucking do it. What the fuck's happened now? I go away for like 0.2 seconds. Jakey's already...
There could be 100 people.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. What's going on now?
think that someone so dazzling was living on this humble rock, the Mick Grinder Island, right under my nose.
Jake
I
here.
see. So their name is Benji. I feel strange when I look at Benji. Is this love? So it's love after all. I'm actually in love. I should start thinking up romantic date ideas. Where would Benji like to go?
You aren't even acquainted. Tino, did you set Rads to be your brother in game? Because I did that with Wei. Because I did that with Wei, and no way, shape, or form have our Miis
Always nice smelling, yeah.
Smell it!
Darcy. Evening.
Okay, where's Lupo? Lupo's in their house. Let's go see Lupo. There's Lupo. Lupo, you wanted shoes, so I gave you shoes because you didn't have shoes. A little cutie. I also gave you some expression on your voice.
There's nothing like us friends. Oopsie. Hello! I was just thinking out loud.
Hi, Nico. How are you, lovely? What's going
I
on?
chatted with Aiden and we both got super excited.
Also, you fancy Induxie and want to confess your love to Induxie. I look so cunty. You know what? You know what we're going to do? Induxie's on the toilet. Oh, Induxie's floating out. Oh.
Good evening, Endaxi. Would you like to have a chat
Oh, fuck. What are you going to say?
about big, hot, muscle, sweaty men? If you had to choose between big, hot, muscle, sweaty men and a ruby, which would you pick? I guess I'd pick big, hot, muscle, sweaty men. Really? In that case, we're going to get along like two peas in a suitcase. Let's be friends.
Well. Fuck yeah, Queen. Fuck yeah, Queen. And Rush is walking off now. There we go. You want to confess, but you get on great in Daxi. Do you guys want to nickname each other? Do you guys want to nickname each other? You don't have to, if you don't want to. Of course. What do you want to nickname Lupo? What do you want to nickname Lupo? Let me brainstorm one sec. Oh my god. Lupo, I'll give you a little bit of context on... Do you want to clarify? Brain. Yes. I will give you some context on Induxie on the island. Induxie's recently just brought in the straight agenda to the island. It's going around like wildfire right now. Their whole friend group on the island is discussing about the straight agenda at the moment. So that's been something. That's been great. The meme loitering.
Moon, how goes it?
Moon. Jesus. And Induxie's playing technically the villain as our straight, lovely ally on the island of furs, pups, and everyone in between. So it's been great. It's been great. Just the weird shit that Daxy's been bringing to the island has been amazing. You, on the other hand, have just been a lovely being, getting to know everyone and just been so sweet, Lupo. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. If you just want to call them Ally Queen, Valentina Ally. There we go. Ally Queen. You know what? I'm gonna do Quen. No, we'll do Queen.
Good evening, Ally Queen.
Ally Queen! Ally Queen! That's how I live with the Queen! Shut the fuck up. Come on, Ally Queen is crazy. How would I do the pronunciation?
Hey, Ally Queen.
Ally Queen. How would I do the pronunciation? Maybe?
Hey, Lie. Hey, Lie. Good evening, Ally. Good evening, Ally.
There we go. That's close enough. Oh my god, my traps are hurting so much right now. Fuck.
Ally Queen, how goes it?
There we go.
Best day ever. Ally Queen and I are now friends.
What platform are you using? Switch
to.
to.
The power of big hot muscle sweaty men. Who could have thought Moon and I would become friends? Oh, happy day.
Happy days. Happy days. Oh my god. Do we have expressions for you yet, Lupo? No, we don't have an expression. Whilst you're here, you're giving me one expression. You're giving me one expression. It's happening. We were gonna wrap up, but now that you're here and wanted to see your me on the island, what's something that you say a lot? Is it honey? You know what? Because I feel like we say similar things as well. I do feel like honey would be something that you say. But then again, I need something unique. I need something unique. My island dish. I need something unique for my meals. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I forgot that I have this different overlay on right now. There we go. Something like, let's start joking it. You know what? Oh no. We're gonna do a question.
Joke it? Joke it? Can we start joking it?
What did you just send me? What did you just start sending me? Oh my fucking god! Wait! Lupo, you're too good at this. Lupo, you're too good at this. Can I get you to draw my maze? Can you start drawing maze for me, please? Mine are interesting. Mine are interesting. I'm gonna need your artistic brain, please and thank you. Please and thank you. There we go. Send me your F shit.
Can we start talking it? Huh? Thank you. Saying that really makes me feel more like myself.
You know what?
Oh,
Happy
goodbye.
for that.
Can we start talking it? Glimper, Schwimper, Tilamper, right? Kutzelti, Titsby Branton.
And on that note, we're gonna save the island there, chat, before they start joking it a lot more than normal. We're gonna move on from that. We're gonna move on from that. All right, there we go. I need to make you. Yes. I will send that to you. Well, chat. Thank you for the vibes tonight. Y'all have been fucking amazing. Also, thank you for the raids and thank you for the follows and shit tonight. Y'all are absolutely fucking wild. Chat, exclamation point socials, exclamation point D, exclamation point raid. I will be live again tomorrow. We're probably gonna do maybe some zoomies. I might message some friendos and see if they want to do some games. Maybe we might try and play something different. We'll see what the vibes are. We might do something different. You know what? We haven't played. What's my library that we haven't actually played yet? RV There Yet. I've been seeing a lot of people playing that recently. Maybe we might do some RV There Yet and reach out to some friendos. That might be fun. A little bit of chaos and tomfoolery. Maybe some chaos and tomfoolery in that regard. I think that would be cute. But chat, if you guys want to follow any of the socials, follow that guns link there. Also, if you want to join the Discord, you must be of age. Please remember that. And also there is an application process. We will get to them as soon as we can, as soon as they come through. Also, copy the raid messages. If you're a sub, you can copy the first one. If not, that is completely fine. You can copy the second. Also, the pin message up the top, chat as well. Go and check it out. We released our edit of Nina Jirachi and Slater today. Very fun, very cute. But we're going to go raid Lee. Lee's doing hump day shenanigans with beavers. So we're going to go show them some love. But yes, we'll be live tomorrow. I will reach out to some people for some games and see how we go. But yeah, appreciate the vibes tonight, chat. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys had fun with Tomodachi Life with me. But we're going to go right into Lee. I will see you guys tomorrow for stream. All right? Much love, chat. Bye.
Do you ever in the middays? I never remember to. Hello!